higher percentage of chance. Ooh, but that'll work.
That's slicing away from Velasquez.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow.
And that's a base hit past Jordan. And that'll go for extra bases. And the Royals have 3 doubles in the second inning and lead 3-2.
They started putting some things together.
Velasquez in the corner, missed it. Collins scores. And now both teams have a run tonight thanks to an error. And now he gets a hittable pitch. And that is hit into left center field for double number 4 in the inning. Blasted to left, soaring, and gone. Jack Caglione gives the Royals a 9-3 lead. Blasted into left field and gone for the captain. And Salvador Perez is the home run king of Kauffman Stadium.
It's happening. They're turning it around. Stop it. They're turning it around. Here it goes. We've just been waiting for them to get hot. Stop it. Get them bats hot. Huh? Hot bats.
If they score 14 runs every game from here on out, I do like their chances.
That's right. Darn right, Salvi. Thank you, my friend. No. Thank you, Salvi. No, thank you.
I'll say if Salvi goes 3 for 5 with a home run every single game from here on out, I do like their chances.
I like their
chances.
If he does that, I think that they've got a decent chance of coming back and getting back in this this race. I mean, because when you've got a team that's, playing the way that the Royals are right now, not too often do teams win 2 games in a row in Major League Baseball. That's not easy to do.
It's called a win streak.
Not yet.
2? No, that's plural.
It's back-to-back wins. It's not a streak.
That's a streak, baby.
It's not a streak.
For this team?
Well, yeah, for this team. 1 in a row is a streak for this team. But not too many people beat the Nationals and Cardinals in back-to-back days. That is not easy to do.
Call him Cat Stevens. This is a streak.
Sure. 20-8, they have outscored their opponents the last 2 games. They are on freaking fire. Extra base hits. Everybody gets an extra base hit. It was Oprah giving away prizes to her audience. I mean, you got a double, you get a double, you get a double. Everybody had a double in the game. It was actually enjoyable to watch if you were taking part and watching it with the lower cases in town. To get to experience the soccer capital of the United States. That's cool for them to see what that's like to experience a soccer city while watching a baseball team that, punks them for 9 innings. And then they get a day off on Saturday to go watch again the soccer capital of the United States. So we welcome the lower cases in town to face off against the Royals and watch a little footy. Harry Kane was there last night watching a little footy. How about that? He was there. Some England players.
Shout out Curtis. I did mean Ray Stevens, not Cat Stevens. Thank you, Curtis. I got over my skis there. I tried making a really random reference.
I didn't know what you were talking about with
the
Cat.
song, The Streak.
I guess they call him the Streak.
Yes.
He's the fastest thing on 2 feet.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on me. Thanks, K-Dog.
Yeah, I thought I didn't
Ray
know what
Stevens.
I didn't know what you were going with. I wasn't familiar with Cat Stevens. It's one of those things where, my bad, I wasn't familiar with your game.
No, it was because Cat Stevens is also British singer-songwriter.
Was he there last night?
But it wasn't Cat Stevens. That'd be even funnier.
Was he there last night with the players for the English national team? Was he there last night too with Harry Kane?
He may have been.
See,
he could have been.
You said he was British, so why wouldn't he be there?
Isn't it?
Why wouldn't he be there? Isn't it? What a game that was last night, isn't it? The Royals come out on top, 14-6. Let's actually talk about what happened and the takeaways from that game. Let's start. Do we want to start with the concern or the fun? Let's get the concern out of the way. Shall we? Shall we? Let's hear from Matt Quattrero after the game last night, gave an update on Bobby Witt and his right knee.
His right knee discomfort, and they're out getting a scan right now, so I don't have anything else other than that.
I know he's been managing that, but did it just flare up when you dove on it?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the same thing that he's been dealing with at all. I don't really have anything to share.
What did he say when you guys went out there?
He said he just landed on it awkwardly.
The number of injuries that this group has been facing lately, when you see Bobby go down, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would matter if it was the only injury or a ton of them. When Bobby goes down, that's really concerning, right? And the fact that he stayed in at first was a little bit encouraging, and then watching him come off the field was pretty obvious he was going to have to come out. So definitely concerning.
Was it your decision to take him out, or was it a conversation?
All of us, yeah. I mean, he didn't think he could stay in. We didn't think he could stay in. It wasn't a fight to take him out.
You know, we had heard before about Bobby and the right knee soreness or inflammation or whatever it was, that precautionary. Well, it's a precautionary thing. Well, we're taking him out of the game. It's a precautionary thing. You know, it's kind of bothering him. He can say precautionary all he wants, but when he said Bobby didn't think he could go.
Yeah.
That's not precautionary anymore. That's Bobby saying, I can't play. I need to come out of the game. Precautionary is Bobby's going, Skip, I'm fine. And them going, nope, we got a decent lead. We'll put Tolbert in there. We are not going to risk you long-term this year for one game and 4 innings when we've got a decent enough lead. We should be able to take care of business here.
And you're 31 and 45.
Yes, exactly.
No longer precautionary. It's post-cautionary.
Yeah.
Or post.
Yes. Well, that would be precautionary if it was he can play, he wants to play, and you take him out against his wishes, and he's, you know, like whatever, Skip, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
But him saying, I can't go,
not good.
It's no longer precautionary. That is you're taking him out of the game because he can't go anymore. And it's been something that has been bothering him this year. I hope there is not an IL stint ahead of Bobby Witt Jr., but if that's what it takes to get the knee right, then an IL stint is what needs to happen. I don't want your franchise trying to fight through a knee issue as a 25-year-old with a season where you're 14 games under 500 and you're, 10 games out of first place. You're 7 games out of the wild card. You've got one of the worst records in all of baseball. This ain't the time to have him go out there and fight through whatever may be ailing him and lean at the tape at the All-Star break to try to get a little bit of a break where he can still be an All-Star but say, I'm not going to be able to play because I need to rest this knee. Okay, it'd be different if they were in first place right now and you're going, man, what's their record? They're fighting right now. Even Bobby in the lineup offers something, maybe a DH him from time to time. But, a guy of his stature who, I said 25, but he just turned 26 like a couple of days ago. Wasn't his birthday last week or something? Anyway, whether it matters or not. I know
June 14th. Yeah, it was 5 days ago.
Okay, so I remember them talking something about Bobby and his birthday. So 26-year-old right now. Okay, well, it wasn't too long ago we were talking about a 22-year-old shortstop making his major league debut. That wasn't that long ago when we were discussing this next franchise-playing phenom as a 22-year-old breaking camp with the big leagues and starting at third base and making a great defensive play, hitting a double for the game winner on opening day, finishing top 5 in Rookie of the Year. It wasn't long ago us talking about 22 years old. It wasn't long ago when we were talking about a 26 or 27-year-old Patrick Mahomes. But he's now in his 30s and coming off an ACL injury. I bring that up because it happens fast. And this is now year 5 for Bobby, where they are not going to make the postseason. Year 6 for Bobby next year. I don't know that they're going to be able to make the right moves to then get them in position to go and make the postseason. So year 7 for Bobby, you're trying to make the playoffs for the second time in his career. And what this does is when you see the injury, when you see his knee, you realize that he's not the young, scrapping 22, 23-year-old kid That's body does not have the grind of season after season of 158, 161, 157, played every game this year. That starts to add up. The way he plays, diving, running, sprinting, stealing bases, leading the league in stolen bases. He's 10 away from what he had last year. Now, he still needs 21 more stolen bases to match his 49 that he had in 2023. But he's a superstar. We know that. But his body is not going to hold up forever by being an amazing shortstop, number 2 hitter, a guy that runs the bases the way that he does. Yes, it is knee discomfort right now. His knee is sore. But there wasn't a person watching or in the stadium whose heart didn't sink some degree when they saw him try to get up and throw and wince in pain and immediately go and hold his right knee. Because when it happened, I'm going, oh no, oh no. Because you couldn't see it in slow motion. What I thought, did he try to get up and roll over his ankle and like his ankle twisted the wrong way and snapped or something? Did he have his knee hit the wrong way and as he tried to turn, it twisted and he felt something there, a pop or something in the knee? It doesn't, like we saw Ronald Acuna randomly, like, wow, that was how he's out for the year. Alberto Mondesi, who is not Bobby Witt, who is a much more fragile individual with his body, tore his ACL diving back to first on a pickoff attempt. Again, different player. I get it. But you never know when something like that happens. Patrick Mahomes has been tackled like that how many times in his career? With a guy grabbing him from behind and falling, and his knee sort of like looks like it buckles a little bit. And we go, oh my God, he just messed up his knee. And he comes over to the sideline and they retap his ankle. He's like, oh no, it was an ankle. Like, I thought it was your knee. No, well, like the knee did this, but it was really the ankle that hurt. Oh, okay, that's right. He has Gumby knees. His knee, even when he dislocates his kneecap, he misses 5 minutes of football. 2 games. But whatever. Those things happen. And to me, watching that last night added, at least for me, and I don't know if anybody else was on the same page, it added a sense of urgency to JJ and the front office getting it right. Because you saw before your eyes, it ain't going to be forever that he just goes out there and mans shortstop and is, the best in baseball. The best human player in baseball. All right? Bobby is, you won't convince me otherwise. He is the best human player in baseball because Shohei is an alien. So he doesn't count, okay? Shohei's an alien. He's not from this earth. But Bobby, a man who was born and from the earth, is the best human player in baseball. He ain't going to be out there every day for the next 15 years. He's also not going to be playing at the height of his powers for the next 10 years. And so far, they've gotten a playoff run out of Bobby, and that was as a 24-year-old. And it was like, boy, this is going to be fun to watch him. He's now 26, has this knee that has been bothering him, and it puts into perspective that he ain't going to be here forever. He's got the opt-out in a few years, that JJ has a finite amount of time to take advantage of what's happening and Bobby Witt on the field. And when you are afraid to trade a prospect that may help you in 28 or 29, if things continue to progress in a way that prospect may get to the big leagues and help you, you're not doing much to help the current team and the players you have and the superstar that you have right now. There is an end date to Bobby's baseball career. I don't think it's right around the corner. It's not right around the corner with him in an end date as a Royals player. But he is closer to free agency and opting out than he is to when he made his major league debut.
End of the day, it just feels very Mike Trout. This just feels very Mike Trout and the Angels, where you have a superstar player who's phenomenal, eventually get an injury, they start piling up, and you can never shake the bug. I hope that's not the case with this. But as far as the lack of playoffs and playoff success, they've had more than Mike Trout and the Angels, but it still feels a little like that, where the team around him just isn't good enough while he's doing heroic things, it feels like, every single night and every single season. at least you have Cags and Carter that look like they're going to hit. I know it's early and things can change, but, Carter at least has a 728 OPS. As a 24, 23-year-old? 22-year-old?
22-year-old, yeah.
That feels like that's going to be more of a hit. Cags is really starting to turn it around, and feels like Cags is a hit. But the issue is you're not super young outside.
Cags is 23.
You're not super young outside of that, but at least you have 3 building block pieces on this roster. Whatever your thoughts are on Garcia, if you want to throw him in there, you can.
Although he hasn't proven it more than 1 year, showing that he can be an everyday middle of an order, top 4 hitter on a team and a quote-unquote cornerstone piece to build around.
And so
with the glove, he's shown it. That's
where I wonder with what the Royals do, because this almost feels, and it shouldn't have been, but think about last year with the Chiefs, when they just decided to keep running it back and running it back and running it back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it worked 2 years ago. Well, I know we lost last year, but we were close to winning a Super Bowl. The Royals last year we were close to making the playoffs. Again, different expectations for the teams, obviously, but still, we were close to making the playoffs. So let's run it back again, because 24 was so good. And then the wheels fall off. The wheels fall off for the Royals. They fell off for the Chiefs, and both superstars got injured. Let's hope Bobby's is something small, but I'm with you. He's 25 and 26 now. And this team just isn't simply good enough this year, and there's no use risking him in the future for, I guess, maybe one of his best chances to win MVP. I do understand that from his perspective.
But
his judge got injured.
Are they going to, it's happened before, I know that.
Yeah.
But are they going to vote for somebody who may be on a 95-loss team to be MVP?
You'd have to win 75 games. 75 and 87?
He'd have to have a decent lead in WAR and other things over to where you go, it's just such a landslide. He's the
Mike
best
Trout
player.
did that a couple times, too.
Yeah.
Mike Trout had a couple. I don't know that I don't have it just pulled up off my head, but they weren't making the playoffs, and he was winning MVPs.
Yeah,
right.
But finishing last or being on a team that is pacing for 99 losses.
Sure, a little different.
Although the last 2 games has changed the pace. Now they're only pacing for like 96. So take that. Take that, losses.
Point remains, you got to be extra cautious. There's no reason to, if that knee is still, if he's in the lineup tonight, part of you would say, good sign, must not be serious, but also part of you would be, that's just dumb.
You've got an off day on Saturday. So you could get back-to-back days off before finishing the series on Sunday against the Cardinals because of the World Cup in town. So you play Game 2 tonight, you're off tomorrow, then Game 3 on Sunday. He has not missed a game this year. I know that he is a Salby-type player that wants to play every single day, but it's not like he has a consecutive game streak to where, well, Bobby has only missed like 1 or 2 games in his career. No, he played 157 last year. He missed 5 games.
And then 1 the year before.
He missed 1 the year before, even leading the league in games played at 161 because people don't typically play 162 anymore. He hasn't played 162 in his career. So it's fine if he takes a day off.
Roger Maris didn't play 162.
You're right.
They played 154.
He did not play one. Even Roger Maris couldn't play.
Right, I think
even the Iron Man himself, first one, not Cal, but the Iron Man himself never played 162 in a season. I mean, come on, folks.
Iron Horse, you mean?
Either one, Iron Horse,
Lou
Iron
Gehrig,
Man.
was that you're going for?
Lou Gehrig, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Even he didn't play 162. The lazy bum. It's okay to take a day off, and we'll see if that's the case tonight. But watching it last night and seeing and knowing in the back of your mind, like Mahomes is recovering from an ACL. Now, the difference is they've gone to 5 Super Bowls. They've won 3 of them.
Yeah.
So even if they don't win another Super Bowl, there is no way you can say, boy, the Chiefs really wasted Patrick Mahomes. They got 3 Super Bowls. They got 2 more Super Bowls than they had ever won in their franchise history. They now have 4. So the difference is, well, they won the 3 so quickly. So if you don't win another one, it kind of feels like you wasted it. But if he plays 15 years and he wins a Super Bowl every 5 years, you're like, you know what? It's hard to win one.
Ask the Packers with Rodgers
Right.
or Drew
Rodgers
Brees
and
the
Favre
Saints,
combined for fewer Super Bowls than what Patrick Mahomes already has. So you can't say it's a waste. But if the Royals, when Bobby Witt opts out, or they trade him before the opt-out because they know what's going to happen. I'm just saying, and but all they have to show for it is 2024 and, 3 wins in the postseason for Bobby Witt. That would be a massive failure by the front office and a missed opportunity. Now, they're a number of years away. But it's where JJ has to value what's the most important thing over the next few years. Hoping Mitchell and Shields and Churio make it up to the big leagues and help you win while Bobby's on the team? Or pieces that can help you win the next 3 years and those guys in 28 or 29 helping another organization win, but also gives you a better chance of Bobby opting out and still re-signing with you.
Yeah.
If 2024 is the only playoff appearance for this Royals team when Bobby opts out, what's the motivation to re-sign in Kansas City other than you love the city and the fans and everything? If he wants to go, I guarantee you he wants to win a World Series. He wants to play in the postseason. Legends are made in the postseason. I mean, there's a guy who's viewed as one of the greatest shortstops because he went and backed up a throw that was overthrown at the cutoff man. It was a very heads-up play. It was smart. I don't want to downplay it, but, it was a great play. He was in the right place. It was it shows the baseball IQ, whether he has the range that people give him credit for, which he doesn't. It shows how smart he is and those things. But if that happened in May, it's not shown on the highlight reel over and over and over. Those are the things that make a difference in your legacy.
Jordan's layup. Switching hands.
Yeah, which was very much needed.
No, but the point, when it happens and the playoffs are big-time moments.
Yeah, Jordan pushing off Byron Russell, if that's in, like February, nobody cares. But when you push off Byron Russell to win the NBA championship and hit the step back, that's different.
SGA would have flopped. He wouldn't even, on the push-off, he would have pushed off and flopped.
He would have jumped, hit the shot, his feet hit the ground, and then slid back, he would have absolutely done that. LeBron would have passed.
Probably.
I know, like Jordan.
And then Ray Allen would have hit it, and then LeBron gets all the credit. It's weird.
Yeah, like Jordan did, passed multiple times to other players.
And then Kobe goes, what's a pass?
I love it. I love
soccer
it.
term?
I love it. Yeah, so we'll see. I do think there's a sense of urgency, though. You got to get it right. We are 5 weeks away from decisions that have to be made around this team. That 2027 and 2028 should be in mind about playoffs for this team. And if you have to regroup and say, you know what, we're gonna take this trade deadline and next offseason because Bobby, we want to make the postseason. Probably don't even need to tell Bobby, but yeah, we want to make the postseason in 27. But 27 to us is going to be a little bit like 23. And then 28 is going to be the group that we're going to make a 2 or 3 year run with Bobby in the final 3 years before he opts out. So therefore, it's more enticing for him to re-sign and stay with the Royals. Because even if he wants to stay with the Royals, there's no reason for him not to opt out.
Yeah,
he's going to get a massive amount of more money, even from the Royals, if he's going to do that.
Yeah.
But you make it more enticing for him to say, I'll opt out and discuss and negotiate with you as well, as opposed to I'm opting out and you guys can't afford me. Sorry, that's just the way it's going to be. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk about Salvi. I wonder, with that ball clearing the fence in left field and finally breaking George Brett's Kauffman Stadium record, he's 4 away from tying George all-time in Royals history, 5 away from being the all-time home run leader in Royals history. I wonder if there was a little bit of a, now you can take a deep breath and just go play ball. The numbers may back that up. And we'll talk about what Salvi may have been doing the previous 17 games. And maybe now it will allow him to get back to being someone closer to what he was a month ago when we were going, okay, looks like Salvi's turning it around, before he played some of the worst baseball that we've seen offensively from him in a long time. More Zone coming up next. All right, man, if you're out there, I've told you about Heartland Men's Health, and if you are suffering from some of the symptoms that may be related to low testosterone, those symptoms can include putting on weight that maybe you didn't put on in the past. You don't have the energy, you don't have some motivation. Depression could be a part of that. Less production at work, brain fog are some of those things that could be related to low testosterone. Heartland Men's Health can help. Guys in their early to mid-30s start losing 2 to 3% of their testosterone production every year. It happens gradually. Before you know it, you don't feel like the same man that you did when you were in your 20s and 30s. And also, Heartland Men's Health is helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, all designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. And with the low-T treatments combined with the body composition programs, most men notice those real improvements. Simply schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health. They'll have your lab work and your results within 30 minutes, I should say. They'll do your lab work. The results, you don't have to wait long. You see what's going on. A licensed medical provider will review the results with you, discuss your options, help you make the decision together with the medical team. Cost of the appointment, maybe I need another shot. I'm not sure. Cost of the appointment is $99, includes medical consult, tea, and we've talked about that PSA test and how important it is for men out there. And if you sign up for testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit, it is free. Heartland Men's Health, successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. Call them today at 844-447-6600. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
All right, Salvi, a historic night last night at Kauffman. Pretty cool that the pitching change happens and you have the video and everything for Salvi. And pretty cool that Salvi comes up in his next at bat and gets the standing ovation. You know, he tips the cap to the fans. I thought there might be a curtain call for Salvi because when he was walking back down the dugout and he gave another hug and you heard the crowd still cheering, but Salvi then sets the helmet down and sits down. I'm like, okay, no curtain call. But his next at bat gets a standing ovation, and certainly look, he's struggling this year. We all acknowledge that. We all acknowledge that probably should be playing less baseball. But there is no love loss for Salvi in this town. We all love Salvi. Let's hear Salvi after the game was over in the clubhouse talking about breaking George Brett's Kauffman Stadium home run record.
Yeah, it's me a lot, you know, especially the Hall of Fame like George Brett, you know. I got the opportunity to spend a lot of time with him. One of the best, one of the greatest. So I feel pretty good. But like I always say, I think the most important thing is that we win the game tonight.
The fact that you guys were able to win that in such a big way with the offense, what was
make it a little bit more special, you know? Make it a little bit more special, more excited, you know? Great night at the K. So hopefully we continue to produce like that.
You're now just 4 shy of tying the Royals' all-time home run record. Are you going to be itching for that now?
I don't like to think about that, but that's right there. I see that a lot on the social media. A lot of people tell me about that. I just go to the home plate to try to do my best, try to help my team to win. Like I say outside, early in this season, I've been struggling a little bit. The number is right there. But I just make an adjustment every day. I like to compete. I like to prepare myself. I'm going to give everything I have and try to be better at the home plate right now. And, you know, especially like tonight, stay like that.
Salvi, what was that ovation like for you the next time you came in to play?
That's super excited. You know, I feel like Cosmo like my second home, you know. I appreciate the fan. Thank you for the support all my career. You know, I don't done yet. I got a lot of more. But I love you guys. Thank you for everything.
So I'm hoping that moving forward over the next few games, now he is 4 home runs wherever away from tying George Brett and then surpassing George Brett. I wonder what Salvi will be like from now until then, or if he gets to 316 or 317, because these 17 games have been brutal. Since his last home run tying George Brett, since he hit number 136 at the K and tied George Brett, and George has gone to all the home games. You know, he's gone to most of them anyway. But there, to see Salvi break his record, and he's talked about it. And if there's going to be somebody that breaks George Brett's record, Salvi is the one you would choose because of what baseball means to him, what he means to baseball, and what he's meant to this town. There is that connection, that marriage, that forever tied to each other, like George in Kansas City and like Salvi in Kansas City. But these last 17 games, before he hit the home run last night, here's his slash line in 17 games. So from home run 136 at the K to home run 137. Now, not all of these games were played at the K, okay? Okay. Slash line, 157, 189, 171.
Wow.
17 games, he OPS'd at 361.
That's an MJ Melendez slash line.
Yeah, he did not get back past the Melendez line. 1 double in those 17 games, his only extra base hit. 1 RBI, 2 walks, 13 Ks in those 17 games.
Man.
But here's why I wonder if last night can do some wonders for Salvi. And was he even though the not all the games were at Kauffman, but was part of the home run chase to break George's record and just to sort of get it past you, knowing that it's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet, and tomorrow's not promised to everybody. Like we're saying, oh, this is going to happen, he's going to break it, he's going to break it. Well, he's getting older too.
Injuries happen
He's
too,
getting
yeah.
older, man. He's a big dude, and he's catching. You take a foul ball, or you do this. I mean, he's missed games before. So I'm wondering what will happen moving forward. And the reason I bring it up is the 30 games before he hit number 136 to tie George Brett. His previous 30 games, he batted .254, he got on base at .300, and he slugged .407. 707 OPS is not the Salvi you remember, but damn it, I'll take it. 707 OPS, yes, for a catcher. And in those 30 games, he had 5 home runs, 3 doubles, and 18 RBIs in those 30 games. He ties George and then just goes into a massive slump over the next 17 games. Maybe it's coincidental, Sterling. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping it's not coincidental. I'm hoping there's correlation, causation, that the home run was on his mind. And let me get the home run out of the way. And then you go into a slump. And then you're pressing. And then you're swinging at everything. Because in that stretch of 30 games, Sterling, we talked about it. He was not swinging at many of those low and outside pitches. He was locked in. It's like, okay, this is good Salvi. He hit 136, and because of the way he had been hitting, 137 was right around the corner. But then he went into just a massive slump.
I
hope it's not coincidence.
I think I hate it because I think it is coincidence. It
probably is, but I'm just wishful thinking it's not.
I think for a lot of players, they would think about that. I don't know if Salvi's one of those guys. Salvi to me seems like a guy who will do whatever it takes, put the work in. I don't think he is thinking about it that much. And maybe only one who knows is him, obviously, right? But he doesn't feel like that type of guy to me. Like he seems to me like he'd be a guy who, it's great, but as long as the team wins. Like I honestly almost feel for him. And again, maybe again I'm wrong. Only he knows that even after breaking the Kaufman home run record last night, I feel like he's more excited that the team won 14-6. Just how we've seen him interact, and he loves to win. We've seen this about him. And so for me, I actually don't think he is overanalyzing or overthinking about the home run record that much. And again, I could be wrong, but he's one of the few guys who I would believe when if he were to say, no, honestly, that's not why I've slumped. It's not on my mind. I'm just going through a Salvi slump that happens sometimes.
He has had, in the 8 games he's played since he tied George, he's had 4 hits at Kaufman, all singles. In the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in the 10 games he's played on the road since tying George, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hits.
Okay, so I mean, there is at least
something to the road home thing.
Statistics that would back up your
hope.
Your hope.
Maybe theory, potential theory.
And again, I hope you're right. Just for me, he doesn't seem to be that type of guy. Yeah. But who knows? I mean, that's still a lot of pressure. Even if you're not that type of guy in general, it's hard not to have that pressure on you. I mean, when George is at the games watching you, and every time you come up to the plate, you're thinking, let's just get this over with. Right.
Like, yes, he's there watching you're right, every at bat.
So maybe there is something to it. But
I hope so, but I'm with you. I think it's more coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, he came through in a World Series. He came through in a wild card game. It's not like pressure is this thing that Salvi can't.
But I think coming through and getting a hit is different than I want to get this home run. Because if you're trying to hit a home run, you're not going to hit a home run.
That's a good point. No, that's a good point.
Whereas Cags last night is showing the continual advancement for him in taking that pitch the other way.
Dude.
And shows just how much power. He doesn't have to swing out of his shoes. Just how much power he has, that he got it. And as soon as he hit it, I'm like, that's gone. Bobby's in the bottom of the first, or bottom of the second, whenever I think bottom of the first. When he got a hold of that one, I'm like, that one's gone. Jack got a hold of that one to left center. I'm like, that's gone.
Carter hit a double to left field.
Yes.
I mean, seeing the young guys, one, hit against lefties, obviously, and then two, using the full field, especially Carter, because I think Carter, if you're going to lead off and do that, you got to be a little more.
That kept the hands inside, got the barrel through, took it the other way.
It also helps when Nelson Velasquez is playing left field for them. That was
double agent Vlad. Thank you, Nelson. Vasquez,
just hilarious.
Vasquez, whatever.
That was.
He damn near dropped the ball in left center. When he chased it down, he sticks his glove out, and the ball hits the heel of his glove. Not too often, Sterling, do you see an outfielder catch the ball, and you still see the ball in his glove. It doesn't, get engulfed by the webbing. He caught it in the heel, and even as squeezing his glove, the ball was still there in the heel. That thing damn near hit his wrist as he reached up for it.
They have so many DHs on the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Ivan Herrera he's a great hitter, but he ain't a catcher. / first baseman. He's DH.
Yeah.
So what do you do with Nelson? Wild that in the year 2026, Nelson Velasquez is playing left field and batting fourth for a team that's 40-33.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good
I mean, he's
point.
only had like 16 at bats, but still.
Doesn't matter. We'll take a time. I mean, Nicky Lopez is playing for the Rangers, right? I mean, it's like, wow,
happening?
that guy is still around. How
What
about
is
that?
Johnny
Good for him.
Givatella up to?
I don't know, but he should be back in the big leagues for
Still
somebody.
believe.
Come on.
Still believe.
Where's DeJesus? Practicing with the Chiefs. We know that. We'll take a time out, come back, continue rolling more zone next.
Oh, baby, do I have some news for you. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. You want to listen to this because I think we all want to have a little fun. Going to watch Team USA. We want to see Team USA. And maybe you want to put a little something extra on the game, have a little more fun. But sometimes bad things happen. Let's just say, for example, the guy you bet on, he goes out of the game. Oh, no, what am I to do? My dude is now out of the game. Not anymore, baby. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. So, if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Let's say McKinney, for some odd reason, got subbed out at minute 73. Right? Let's say McKinney, oh no, my bet's out. Dang it. I was on McKinney and he got subbed out of the game. Oh, wait a minute. FanDuel says that's not right, baby. You now get the substitute. Fresh legs, fresh opportunity to score. This way, you are still in it until the final whistle. This is FanDuel's Super Sub. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Matt Derrick will join us in the 11 o'clock hour. That's right. That's right. Matt Derrick will be here. We'll talk some Chiefs football, and we'll get his breakdown on the U.S. and Australia matchup. So there you go. Text 913-912-4810. By the way, I didn't see this text earlier. It says, Cat Stevens, try Ray Stevens. Rack me.
That was correct. Yeah, I was dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
You're smart. I'm dumb. You're attractive. I'm not.
Okay, as long as you admit that. Now we can get down to business. I love Adam Sandler's.
Tommy Boy, was that what it was?
No, there was Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore, yeah.
I love Adam Sandler's look on his face when he's going through it. He's like, you're good looking, I'm not. Okay, as long as you can admit that. I'm like, oh, that's what did it? Text says, is this now the outrage part in talking about Bobby? I mean, I've gone through the excitement, the delusion of, no, maybe they'll get this turned around, to then I talked about the apathy of this past weekend watching almost no Royals baseball. And by almost no, I mean like a couple of at-bats because we were out of town. The apathy part. Bobby goes down. I don't know when the outrage, but I think there is some outrage there, but I don't know that it's outrage to a degree like everybody should be fired, because this was a no doubt guaranteed stud team, and you spent $300 million on the roster, and you are failing to get this done. Like, I don't think it's at that level. There's frustration, but there's also frustration with an understanding that the Royals certainly could have made the postseason, but I think it has to be acknowledged of the injuries that are there, which is part of could be leading to the outrage of, well, why didn't you trade those guys if you knew it? Okay, all of that being the case. I think it may get to that at the trade deadline if nothing happens, and then you go into the offseason, and next year they're in this part. Then I think it will be like true. It doesn't mean it has to be a year from now, but I think true outrage as in like people should be fired. The Quattrero should be fired group, whatever. I mean, it's just complaining about the things that you don't agree with every single decision that's made, and therefore he's an idiot, doesn't know baseball.
No manager was, with how the guys played, no manager was taking this team to the playoffs. A different manager wasn't going to have this team at 45-31.
Yeah.
Right.
He should have put Ursay in there more often. He did, and then he blew it. Well, he should have put Daniel Lynch in there. Okay, well, Daniel Lynch has had a couple of outings now since. He should have put and kept Alex Lane there. Okay, you should have put Matt Strahm in there. Okay, well, home runs are given up. Like, why didn't he bat Jack against lefties more? He is now.
I mean, I had some. There's been some real criticism. I'm not saying he's been outstanding. Don't get it twisted. I just don't think that he is the number one culprit of why this team is 14 games under 500.
Yeah, firing Quattrero does not fix the issue.
Correct.
He is the same manager that was able to get them to the postseason in 2024 and go through all of the injuries last year and still be a team that was over 500. That's still the same guy. This has been, and the comparison you made to the Chiefs this year, I think is an apt one. They're winning Super Bowls. They go for the three-peat. They run it back. They lose, and you go, well, you just didn't play well. You're still finding a way to win. Let's run it back again. Same group from 2024. I will continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy heading up until 2 o'clock. We'll talk with Mick Schaefer today in the show. Branson Gibson, Australian journalist, Socceroos expert. We'll talk with him in the noon hour. Get the Australian side of the matchup with Australia knocking off Turkey. And the cool part about today is that while Mexico is the first team to advance to the knockout stage with their win last night over South Korea, and they are already the winner of that group, the United States can win the group today. Australia can win the group today. That's how big this game is at 2 o'clock. The way it breaks down is if the U.S. men's national team wins, and then tonight at 10 o'clock, if Turkey does not beat Paraguay, so lose or tie to Paraguay, the U.S. has won the group, no matter what happens in the United States game against Turkey. If Australia wins today, and Turkey, who is the favorite, wins or draws against Paraguay, Australia wins the group today. So this is a massive game for both teams, both countries, because Australia was not favored against Turkey. Turkey was viewed as the team that was going to finish second in the group behind the U.S., and Australia beats Turkey, and the United States dominate Paraguay, and the expectation is that Turkey wins today against Paraguay, which means if the U.S. loses, odds are they have been eliminated from winning the group before they get ready for their third game against Turkey. Then it's like, okay, you need at least a point.
Yeah.
Like you need to find a way to get a point at that time. So we'll see, because they would be, I guess if they lose today, they'd have 3 points. If Paraguay loses today to Turkey, Turkey would also have 3 points. Paraguay would have no points. And then if Paraguay were to win and the U.S. ties against Turkey, they would be eliminated. They would finish fourth in the group.
I just say win.
I agree.
If it were me personally, I would just win.
I think so too. Like, I think that's probably the best strategy, I think, for the men's national team today. If I'm breaking it down, like from a real analytical, statistical perspective, I think the biggest, the underlying numbers would say win.
Would just say just win.
Yeah,
What's funny with Brand, he's down in Australia.
So his name is, I've known him as Branson.
Branson. That's just the Missouri in you. No, his real name's Branson, but I call him Bran a lot.
Okay.
He'll be doing it at 3:30 a.m. down in Australia.
How about that?
He texted me and goes, "Hey, I'm going to take a quick little nap. I have a whole bunch of alarm set, so I'll wake up."
How many alarms do you think he's setting to wake up at 3:30?
At 3:30
to join us.
At least 3.
Yeah.
He's not Carter Jensening this thing.
Oh, wow. Going back to that one.
Wow. Why do you hate Carter?
We're talking about alarms.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
I was going to give you a hard time. That's a good poll, Darcy.
Although Carter, it wasn't 3:30 in the morning. This would have way more of an excuse for him to sleep through an alarm, having to get up at 3:30 to talk about Australian soccer with some dopes in Kansas City, as opposed to Carter waking up just at a general time in the morning to go to your job as a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
A little different, but still, that was a while ago, and now he's smashing the baseball. So that is behind him, and Carter and Jack and Robert Witt, hopefully growing into pieces of a team that will win a division. That would be awesome. And seeing the hopefully next great catcher in Royals history. And maybe a number of years from now, we are watching the Carter Jensen chase to break Salvi's home run record at the K, or Salvi's home run record in a Royals uniform. Or maybe we're watching Jack do that. Maybe Jack is chasing Salvi's home run. Maybe Jack and Carter are both surpassing Salvi.
In like 6 years,
and Bob.
Jack. In about 6 years, when he's hitting 50 a year.
That's right. 50 at the K? 50 home runs at the K a year alone? That's crazy.
None on the road, though.
I think you're stupid.
Home guy.
I think you're stupid. Matt Derrick is not stupid. He's with us. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. Hello, Matt. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I just appreciate the wonderfulness, the happiness of the world's happiest broadcasters here. Put up with my nonsense, although I feel like it's a little bit of an Easter egg. Be talking about Carter Jensen when I walk in.
With an alarm clock?
Exactly. I feel like there's a little, it's just a little nugget for the kids out there.
Michael did that. That was Michael. Michael brought that up. We were just talking about Bran.
Yes, you were talking about soccer, which I love. So.
Yes, exactly. We were waiting for you to get in to give us the U.S. side of it.
It's a passion for it.
How do you think they attack today? Can they win without Pulisic? If Pulisic does not go today, do you think they'll have enough to knock off Australia in the Socceroos? What do you think, Matt?
I guess we'll find out.
I would, you know what? There should be a bit to where somebody comes on the show every week to break down the Chiefs game. And no matter what we ask them, they go, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out.
We're going to find out.
Do you think this is a game where they can get the running game going against them?
I mean, people, I will say, people come to me for certain things. Expert soccer analysis is not one of them. So I don't get into the minutia of it. I can discuss the big picture things.
41 is the striker.
But
was the other podcast you were going to be a part of.
The last thing
41 is the center back.
The last thing soccer fans usually want to hear is me talking about soccer.
That's probably right.
Although I'm better than some. I mean, I admit it's not my favorite game in the world, and I like the video game, even though I feel guilty about playing it because FIFA, as we should all know and I think understand, is the single worst organization on the planet.
Yeah, they're a bunch of crooks.
Exactly. So you feel a little guilty, but the video game, hey, it's different than the real world.
Yeah, that's true. But what I appreciate about you, Matt, is while soccer isn't your thing, you don't go out of your way to tell everybody how much it sucks and you hate it and it's stupid and you guys are dumb for doing it or watching it.
I don't think anybody's dumb for doing it because hey, everybody's a nerd about something.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
it's just like
my wife, Gilmore Girls.
Oh, Gilmore Girls, great show.
Absolutely.
Sebastian Bach's in it.
Sure.
Singer true. He's the Jewish singer or something. Like he does like bar mitzvahs.
I'll take your word for it.
No, and that's what I was thinking about the other day. Is that I know that for most soccer fans, they probably hate me and everything, but I'm not the worst. Because the worst is the person that doesn't like your sport or activity or anything of that nature and tells you how to fix it.
Oh yeah, that's
because I don't offer any fixes for soccer. Yeah. It's your thing. I'm not going to say make the nets bigger or make the field smaller.
Get rid of offsides.
Yeah, get rid of offsides. I'm not that guy. That is not me. I am not here to fix your beautiful game.
Offsides would be a real fun one though. I've thought about that because it'd be like NBA. You know what I'm talking about, where you can cherry pick if you want, but then you have then you have fewer defenders.
Get rid of goaltending in the NBA.
Get rid of goaltending in soccer. There's no goalie. You just
NFL get rid of holding.
I do think
pass interference.
I do think they probably need to make the courts wider in the NBA, but
they do. I think guys have gotten too big.
Yeah.
When their feet, when they're trying to shoot corner threes, are out of bounds because they have size 19 shoes.
I'll be honest.
Okay.
One of the greatest and more improbable things is
Ray Allen's 3.
Nope. That was crazy too. Luckily, LeBron was so good in that game that Ray Allen's 3 mattered. But what's crazy is being able to keep your feet in bounds on all of those baseline threes. How many guys are not out of bounds and they're also behind the 3-point line? That's so. It's amazing to me how, and I know it's their job, and you sort of know where you're at. Like the goal by Brazil the other day, where the guys, moving from what would be the inline over towards the box, sort of at his 2 o'clock away from the goal, and he's only looking at the ground, and then he kicks it, and it's just as perfect of a strike to the right side of the net, and he never looked at the net one time. Because his whole life, he just knows where he's at that particular part of the field, and the same thing with the court. But it's still amazing to know that you can get your feet down behind the line, not step out of bounds in that very small, finite space. So,
and you know what? And I am with soccer fan on the hydration breaks.
You don't like it?
Don't like it because 90% of soccer is running around and not stopping. So the fact that you got a break and everything, and I get it. Hey, you know what? If you're playing in the day and you're playing somewhere where it's 115 degrees, sure, go ahead and have a hydration break. You didn't need a hydration break at Arrowhead the other night. Oh, I'm sorry, Kansas City Stadium.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's Arrowhead?
Yeah.
Never
Kansas
heard
City
of it.
Stadium, excuse me.
Never heard of it. And as Drake pointed out the other day on the broadcast, they called it Arrowhead multiple times.
I noticed that
I hope
too.
they do that.
I didn't know they were allowed. I
now
thought
they might get fined by FIFA. You're fired.
afraid that some sort of a FIFA official is going to come out and
FIFA's like, you're
take 'em down.
fired, and you must leave the stadium in the next hour and a half or 2 hours because we've done a bang-up job in figuring out how to get the fans here into Arrowhead, Kansas City Stadium. While they do it all the time by getting fans in and out of the stadium, we decided, listen, Kansas City people, we know this is what you do. FIFA's here now. We'll show you how it's done. What if we don't open anything but like 2 entry points into Arrowhead? What if we don't have separate lanes for the buses and the ride shares? What if we don't have the roads marked off to where fans walking to the stadium don't just walk down the road, which stops the cars from being able to advance, which then also pushes back the cars? What if we do none of that? Don't you think it's better than what you guys have done for years and years of parking at Arrowhead? Step aside.
Yeah.
Nobodies. FIFA's here to show you how it's not done.
It literally took the Chiefs like 50 years to figure out parking at Arrowhead, and they finally figured it out.
Finally got it.
And then FIFA comes in and is like, no, we're going to reinvent this wheel. Just
Why do you
watch
have all
us."
those entry points? You only need like 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean,
Until like 20 minutes before kick. Well, let's open up more entry points to try to get rid of this huge traffic jam. Nice job, FIFA.
Yeah.
Way to do that. There was no traffic jam for Rashee Rice to get out of jail and to take off.
Well, kind of. There was a media
door
jam.
I do love that. Door.
I'm just going to now randomly say that when I'm in places.
Door. You know what you should do? Anytime. So the next time you're at, the media room, the media room won't be, I was going to say the media room won't be there when you're at training camp.
No,
so it'll be a while before you guys will be the first preseason game before you're going to be at the media room. But then you see somebody walking in, door.
You know, and the really, you know, oh gosh,
did I miss something? Where's the door from?
It's what the guy was Rashee Rice video.
Yeah.
When Rashee Rice was getting ready to get out, the other guy with the news looked at door, as in like video, door. Door. You don't.
I didn't hear.
That?
No, I didn't hear. I must have
door.
I watched it multiple times. I must not have heard it.
Yeah, and then he walked out, walking backwards with the moonwalk. That was cool.
That was pretty cool. The receiver group in the locker room is right next to the entrance exit door.
Oh, shocker! So they're so quick out.
So yeah, so that would, I mean, first day back in there, you're approaching that to say door. That could get me in trouble.
Do you think he'd laugh, or do you think he'd understand what the joke was?
Might not understand. Might not get the reference.
I don't know. You know what I would hope? I would hope that they tease each other there.
Yes.
At the practice facility,
and
other guys are like, Rashee, door. All right, yeah, keep it up. Well, I mean, he thought it was funny. He did the moonwalk, and when he turned around, he was smiling. Yeah. He had a happy. He thought it was hilarious.
I mean, also it's probably smiling because he's out of jail.
Usually, there's a smile on people's
I'd imagine
faces.
that'd feel pretty good.
Could be.
Although, how many people walk out of jail with cameras and media ready to meet you there? And then speeding off, and then the revving of the engine.
Yeah, I mean, the first time you see, they call a play where Rashee has to go on like a 9 route, go on a fly route and everything. Just go, hey, Rashee, just get in the Range Rover.
It's called Range Rover.
Yeah,
that's what they call it.
Yeah, play X-Lant 45 Range Rover right.
Door.
door.
On yellow.
That'd be a great play call.
On yellow. Here we go. Ready. White. Yellow.
Z slant N X Range Rover 45.
Door.
Door.
Hold door. Oh, hold door. Man, can you imagine if at some point during the season Mahomes just comes up to the line of scrimmage and all you hear is him saying, blue 80, white. Door.
Yellow.
I would lose it.
Yeah.
I would absolutely lose it.
They should lean into it, man.
Exactly.
Like, come on, lean into it. Have some fun. Matt Derrick is with us. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. Let's finish with this part of it in the video that we saw. People have weighed in, and I think we've seen, we've heard some ex-Chiefs that are like, what does it matter if he talked or not? What was he going to say? Oh, I'm happy to be out. Then also there's the other view of it's just sort of continuing the ducking and dodging, any what feels like could be accountability, even if it's a small, happy to be out, no comments on everything, and looking forward to being back with the Chiefs. Thank you guys. But that's how's the knee? All good, man. I appreciate it. You guys, thank you. As he's walking to the guard. Did it bother you one way or another? Do you have an opinion? Are you indifferent on whether or not he spoke with the media or jogged to the car?
I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, the only part that bothers me is that of the, putting on my former public relations hat in my previous career and everything. The only thing that bothers me is that he got terrible advice or no advice whatsoever on how to handle it.
No advice. Yeah.
And I mean, I think if he got any advice, it was just, hey, keep your head down and just get out of there as fast as you can. Wrong thing to say if that was your advice, because he did that. That's exactly what he did.
One of the things that I was really surprised at, Matt, is he walked out of there by himself to the car by himself. I thought whether representative or agent would be there walking. Thanks, guys, we're good, appreciate it. Nope,
nobody there to meet him.
He's not going to comment on it, guys. We appreciate it. Hey, we'll see you at training camp, guys. Nope, no comment here. Just let the man get home. Let the man through. It's all good. I was really shocked that there wasn't somebody there with him as he made his way out.
And I understand. I don't think that probably no one in his camp in that situation. And I don't know. I mean, again, I think that by and large, most NFL agents and again, no knock on the teams. It's the team PR people are team PR people.
Yeah.
They are not there to represent the PR and the brand of the players.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect like Brad G or those guys to be there.
No, I don't expect them to be there. And I would expect the team to say, hey, we don't want you to talk, just get out of there and everything. That's one thing. I mean, but you know what? You're on your own time.
Yeah.
And Rashee Rice. And, had his agents, and I think other agents so I'm not going to single his out alone, because I think every agency in the NFL, I mean, they absolutely need to have one, if not more, PR people on staff that train their clients and tell them how to handle things, because by and large, the only media training that any of the players get is from the teams.
Yeah.
And again, the teams teach them what they want and what is in their best interest. They don't teach what's in the players' best interest, because, I mean, the players want marketing deals and all of these things. They need the face out there. I mean, they need to have a good reputation, and, and that's working in the media is one way to do that, and they don't teach them how to do it. So that's what probably bothered me about the whole thing, was just like I said. I mean, he should have been coached up how to handle this. And honestly, again, not going to be probably meeting the media until training camp. It'd be a great opportunity to just walk out of jail with your head held high.
Yep.
And if he'd done that and gotten that question, what's your message to your fans? Oh my gosh. I mean, I couldn't have planted a better question.
Yes.
I mean, it's not necessarily, I guess it's borderline ethical. We'll call it unethical. But if I were an unethical PR person, I would have put somebody there in the room with a camera that looks like a blogger or something of this nature, and just had them say, hey, Rashee, message to your fans. Perfect question. Walks out of there, head held high, not grinning or anything like that. Just be a proud man, come out of jail like, I've done it. I'm taking responsibility. Say, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question, because, yes, I'm sorry to my fans. I'm sorry to all the Chief fans, organization, my teammates that I let down, all of these things. I'm not going to talk anymore right now. That's all I have to say right now. But yes, I apologize to everybody I let down. Walk out the door.
See you at training.
Probably nobody follows you.
Yeah.
And then you can just walk slowly to your Range Rover and take off at a leisurely rate.
Yeah. I mean, he's represented by, quote, the team. That didn't really feel like he was part of the team on that one, because it was the team, but you're kind of on your own on this one, Rashee. Like I honestly, if I get out of there and there's nobody there, there's no advice, there's just somebody waiting in a car, I'm probably finding new representation. Because I think somebody should have, I think an agent, a manager, something should have been there with him, as in like, no, we're together here. I got my guys back.
Yep.
Made a mistake, but I'm here with them, and I'm fighting for him too. And mistakes happen. I mean, you got Brendan Sorsby's agent, coming out and talking, or lawyer, or whatever, coming out and no, it was his agent.
Can you believe all of this happened in 1 week? I mean, I
She
feel like
rises
Rasheed
out,
Rice got
Brendan
out of jail
Sorsby.
like 3 weeks ago.
It's so true.
I mean, the Brendan Sorsby
Oh,
thing.
my
I mean,
God.
you feel like, oh my gosh. I mean, this had to have happened over like a month long, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, it was since Monday.
So
I mean,
crazy,
Monday,
man.
the guy's gone from starting every single game in the season, and
from
and
Texas Tech telling the Big 12 we plan on playing him
against apparently nothing but JUCOs because nobody's going to play Texas Tech, including the Big 12 that's suing them, and then by Thursday it's all over. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like
crazy. But it's what we have while we're in the off season.
the ESPN 30 for 30 on all this week.
Oh
Great.
my God!
There
yeah,
you go.
that's-
It'll be just
that's
like
true.
July 17th, 1994.
Yeah, it'll be funded.
Where were you?
It'll be funded by Cody
When
Campbell.
Brendan Sorsby.
No, you know what?
Declared for the
It'll be
supplemental
the
draft.
it'll be the Netflix one funded by Cody Campbell, like the Florida Gators one was about Urban Meyer. His problem with Aaron Hernandez was that he was too loving. He cared too much about Aaron Hernandez, and that was the issue for Urban Meyer and looking past murders.
Yeah, well,
plural. We don't have to say allegedly anymore because I don't think Aaron Hernandez is going to sue us. I'm guessing.
I still say allegedly.
Maybe through a seance. You think he's going to sue us through a seance?
That happened in South Park.
Ouija board. TALKTOMYLAWY. It talked to my lawyer. Son of a! I knew it.
I thought it was spelling out Ninja Turtles.
It's too long.
Sorry, spelling is tough for you, Sterling. Read a book.
You know what I'm worried
God,
about?
yeah.
I mean, this is going to get darker than we really want to get here, but I'm starting to get really worried about the eventual 30 for 30 on the 2019 Chiefs. So,
I'd watch it. It'd be fun. You can highlight the Houston game.
What do you mean?
Highlight the
Darren Lee, Mike Pinnell. There's some darkness.
Mm-hmm. We'll take a time out. Tyreek. We'll take
all allegedly.
That's probably
all
right.
allegedly. Yes.
Yep. We'll take a time out. We'll come back, continue rolling, and we will get into the group that Rasheed Rice is a part of in that room for the Kansas City Chiefs. Other position groups that Matt may feel comfortable with or has some real concerns for. We'll talk about those things and more coming up next. All right, hanging out on a Friday edition of The Zone. United States in action against Australia. Coming up at 2 o'clock, a massive match today that could decide, or at least go a long way to deciding the group. If the U.S. were to win today, they can win the group with a result tonight at 10 o'clock, or at least that's when the game gets started with Turkey and Paraguay. If Turkey doesn't beat, so if Paraguay wins or ties, the United States wins the group. If Australia wins today and Turkey wins or ties, Australia wins the group, and then the U.S. would be fighting for making sure they advance to the knockout round in their match against Turkey. The Chiefs won't be at training camp until the World Cup is over, late July. Matt, we had a discussion yesterday, and we went through 1 through 9 in our...
I heard some of that discussion.
Okay, great.
Very informative.
Yeah, well, that's good. I appreciate that. We got down to the final 3, and we kind of all had the same tiers of groupings with our positional groups.
Real tiers, because we were pretty sad towards the end.
Some of them as well, yes. And...
Beautiful wordsmith.
The one thing that I guess the 2 areas we disagreed in 2 positional groups was tight end and wide receiver. I was a little higher on tight end than the others were, and I get why they weren't. I was lower on wide receiver than Sterling was because of my faith or lack thereof in Rashee Rice, playing all season, and how much stock do I put into Xavier Worthy just being better because he doesn't have the labrum injury, and taking Andy Reid at his word that there were so many other things they were going to do with Worthy last year that they couldn't do. Are the Chiefs approaching this year's wide receiver group with the same naivety and mistake that they did last year with the running back room?
Maybe. It's possible. But I think that the difference between this year and last year in those 2 groups, one is that they have a young wide receiver group that they're at least trying to develop and invest in. That wasn't the case last year in the running back room. Brashard Smith was the only young guy that they had, and they didn't really invest in him. They kind of buried him a little bit. And again, he was a bit of a tweener, and I thought, I was just as high on him as the Chiefs were, maybe higher. I would have probably taken him higher. So I'm not going to criticize the pick because I was on board with it. I thought it was a good move. And maybe they should have invested in him more, and maybe they just could have let him sink or swim out there at some point, because he offered something that the other 2 guys weren't offering in that backfield last year, but they just never did. At least this is a young group, and hey, they've got a new coach too, which is something that they didn't have last year, and had a wide receiver trying to run the running backs. I still don't understand that one. I get it to a degree, but I still don't understand it. But okay. But I think's the difference, is that at least they have some youth that they're trying, and there's a purpose this year. Last year they were still trying to keep the train moving. It was still like keep the line moving kind of a strategy and everything. Coming off, the Super Bowl loss, it was like, hey, this is still a core Super Bowl team. Don't have to have a lot of wholesale changes. But like I've said, they knew last summer that the running back room was a problem. They just, at that point, knew that they had no way to solve it. They didn't have a lot of cap space. They didn't want to give up draft picks, and wasn't really an easy answer out there about how to fix the problem. And that's true a little bit of this year, because they have the same problem. They don't have the draft. They don't want to give up draft picks. They don't want to give up, cap space to go get somebody. So they're going to go with it. But I think the difference is that they're going to play their young guys. Rashee Rice is still a young guy, obviously. Xavier Worthy is still a young guy. I think Cyrus Allen's going to get more playing time than he normally would in his situation. Taekwon, not necessarily a young guy, but lesser experienced. I think they're going to put they're not going to clog up this year's team with a bunch of veterans that are going to be stopping young guys from playing.
And that's why I was thrilled when they didn't bring Juju back.
Yeah.
Because that, to me, in my opinion, that was a 6th rounder going to the Giants for him. Show at least a little faith in Royals, maybe, because I think that there is an overlap with some of their skill set. I've talked about how I think Cyrus Allen might have more yards or receptions this year than Royals, but Royals will play a larger amount of the snap count because I think he'll be more of that Juju blocking role. Do you agree with that assessment, or does a Juju going to New York have no indication on what they think about Royals.
I mean, I think him going to New York had an indication that Chiefs just didn't want him back. So, I mean,
well, yeah, but is that a Juju situation, or is that a showing faith in Royals?
I think that's a good question, because I think that I'm going with the third option, which is that I think it was more about their overall strategy than individual circumstances. Because I mean, you look across the board. I mean, they're not bringing anybody back from last year's team. I mean, what veterans did they re-sign? You look at it. I mean, not many, and certainly not any old. I mean, any old.
Dana. I mean, this is like the team-wide
right
philosophy. Yeah.
But I mean, if you get to, I mean, I'm trying to remember, because I was thinking there was maybe one guy, but generally, I think it's like, hey, if you were 28, 29, or 30 or older, they did not bring you back this year, and they let some of their other even younger guys in that walk because they just didn't have the money and everything. So, I don't think those decisions, like I said, I don't necessarily think it was faith in Jalen Royals as much as, because I mean, they may look at it and say, hey, you know what, Jalen Royals is not as good as Juju Smith-Schuster right now. But he's also not going to get any better if Juju is here clogging up the path in front of him.
And the space between is not as drastic, right? Like the gap, sure, you could say Juju might be slightly better than Royals at this point in their career, but it's not a wide enough gap that it makes it worth it.
Well, let me ask you from this standpoint, as we compare two different positions. You're talking about Juju and Jalen Royals. The gap is not wide enough for them to say, we have to bring back Juju. And you're talking about the age of the guys that they let walk. Dana, Juwan Taylor, Derek Nottie, Juju Smith-Schuster, guys that are 28 or older. But in that group is also Drew Tranquill, that it seemed like maybe they were thinking about releasing, but decided on a contract restructure. And my question would be, while Sterling brings up the point that maybe they didn't think the gap between Juju and Jalen Royals was that significant that they had to bring back Juju, is that an indication of what they think of the linebacker room behind Drew Tranquill, that let's work together because we really don't want to cut you. We also can't do this with the cap hit this year. Can we come together and work on something so mutually you stay on the Chiefs and we keep you, because there's a bigger gap between Drew, because he's 30 years old. I mean, he's older than Juju and Nottie and Juwan Taylor and Mike Dana. He's 2 years older than those guys.
Yeah, and that's a situation where I will say that I think it says something about the players behind them, because the gap between Drew Tranquill and like Jeff Bassa, pretty steep.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the Chiefs.
What about Cooper McDonald?
Well, and Cooper McDonald.
Not necessarily playing the same position.
That's the thing. I mean, the Cooper McDonald, Jack Cochran, those guys, even, Cole Christensen, was getting a lot of run during the mini camp. Those guys are all by and large, strong side guys. They're not weak side guys.
Yeah.
So they play different positions. Bassa is going to be more of the weak side guy, but last year he didn't really show that he was ready to step up yet. And so I feel like the Chiefs in that situation, they do feel like there's a pretty significant gap, and they just weren't ready for maybe the Jeff Bassa era yet.
Yeah, or ready for it's hands-on training, dude. Sink or swim. Because do you think maybe they learned? So I don't know if they learned from the mistake of the running back room a year ago of saying, well, we'll get a guy healthy and he'll be better. We'll add a draft pick in there, and there are less running backs than wide receivers. But there's some comparison with, Xavier Worthy's going to be healthier. We are adding in Cyrus Allen. Rasheed's going to be good. The wide receiver room, we don't need to go out and add. With the linebacker group, is it it's time to go and sink or swim, and Jeffrey Bassa, you're in there, and it's going to have to be, you just have to go out and play. You just have to be the guy that goes and is out there, and they're not ready to make that full-on commitment if it's, no Drew Tranquill. The concern would be like, well, what if one of those guys go down? Then you don't really have a choice. You got to play that particular guy, but they're not necessarily prepared, or Was Jaden Hicks a guy last year that maybe they underestimated the loss of Justin Reed because they thought Jaden Hicks was ready to swim? Where maybe they're not making the same mistake and saying, we feel Jeffrey Bossa's ready to swim, so we're good moving on from Drew Tranquil. Not so fast. We thought that with Jaden Hicks after year one. So maybe we don't go that route and think that Bossa's ready to swim because Jaden Hicks was not.
And again, cost comes into it too. I mean, I think that they probably would have still made the same decision, even 2020 hindsight. I think they would have, just because I don't think they would have been comfortable with paying Justin Reed that much money on third contract.
Yeah.
I think that they would have felt better about going. I mean, it's a little bit the same way with, choosing. They could have re-signed Brian Cook, but they went out and got Lohi Gilman.
And I'm fine with it.
And honestly, I mean, that's it. It very well, it could and probably should work out to their advantage, because Brian Cook is I like it. He's a really nice player, but he's best suited as a strong safety, and they've got like 48 strong safeties. They haven't had a natural free safety in years, and that's what Gilman is. So that's where I think that they feel like that's a strategic move that can help you be better. But I think it's a different little bit across the board, but by and large, you look at this roster and they're betting on their young guys. I mean, and to the point where unless things really don't work out, I mean, their strategy right now is they would rather bet on like an Ethan Downs as the fifth edge rusher than, a 33-year-old retread as being like your third edge rusher. Because, I mean, hey, just everybody step up one, because they also don't want, like I said, they don't want veterans stopping this kind of youth movement that they've got going on.
What does that say about this year overall then? Like, is this a all-in year? Because it doesn't seem like it. This feels like a little bit of a retooling year like it was in 2022. But even 2022, I think, still had more injection of.
But still resulted in a Super Bowl.
Correct.
I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, I would call it a retooling year. I know some people call it a rebuilding year, and and Brett Veach, I think, even said that once, and then he's bristled at rebuilding ever since then.
Well, because in fairness, we have Patrick Mahomes. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah,
rebuild.
I mean, it's not. And you've got 80% of your offensive line back, and
it's a retool.
Yeah, I mean, and let's face it. There's a reasonable chance, especially if you consider like Jalen Moore, starter from last year, because he started plenty of games. Pretty good chance that you're going to go into week one and the only new starter on the offense is going to be Kenneth Walker. And yet, I think, and the Chiefs think, that one move alone is going to make the offense significantly better. And I agree. I mean, I think it will. It's that running game last year was a fundamental flaw for this offense. And then they feel like that the two moves that they made between rebuilding the running back room and bringing in Chad O'Shea, they think those are needle movers. I think they are too.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case, and we'll see if it actually is the case. We'll take a timeout, come back, continue rolling more zone right after this. All right, folks, the world's biggest soccer tournament, has arrived, and we're already into round 2 of pool play going on with the U.S. in action against Australia today. And on Kalshi, you can trade the entire tournament. You can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. One of the things that I've wondered throughout my life when it comes to sports is, is there a way that I could play a sports event the way that some people would play like commodities or trading on different prices in politics or in real world stuff? Like, I don't know all about that, but I know sports. Can I do that? And on Kalshi, yes, you can. I gave the example yesterday. Before the match started, I said Czechia and South Africa, they're trading on a tie with that market at like 10%. That thing ended up being a tie, but as it went along, if you put $100 on 10%, and it goes up and up and up, and now it's at 70%, 80% to be a tie once that thing was getting later on, you just made 7 times your number, and you don't have to sweat it out to the end. You can trade out of your position and take that profit right then, because you may think, okay, here's a goal right here. Like if USA and Australia are tied in the 70th minute, right now, a tie is trading at 22%. It ain't going to be that in the 70th minute if they're tied 0-0, 1-1, whatever it might be. and then you can trade out. Because that's the beautiful part about Kalshi as opposed to some other places. With the prediction market, you are going against peers in the live market. There's no house. As the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. It's what I love about playing the markets on Kalshi. It moves. I get an idea. The game's going on. I get a feel for where it's going. I can trade out and take the money. Even if I take a little bit of a loss, I don't lose the whole thing. Or I go up to that market and I go, you know what? I can see this happening down the road. I get a good feel of this. I've had that with sports. I don't have it with other things. Kalshi allows me to do that. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code JASON810. JASON810 to get $10 when you trade 10. It's on Kalshi. It's JASON810. Kalshi, K-A-L-S-H-I. Kalshi, trade the beautiful game.
18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
All right, wrapping up this hour. Coming up in the noon hour, we will talk with Bran Gibson, Australian journalist and Socceroo expert. He will be joining us from Australia.
Aussie.
3:30 a.m. his time.
3:30 in the o'clock for him. And he has, I think he told Sterling, many alarms set up to come on the show with us. That is very nice. Mick Schaefer, will talk with him as well as we continue rolling along. Cuts before the show is over. We got some fun cuts today.
I'm scared.
You know what? I don't think
There's a couple.
There's one.
I doubt it. There's no way I made cuts.
Door.
You made cuts. There's one with Danny Clinkscale in you that's funny. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Coming up later on this hour, Bran Gibson. We will talk with him about the Aussies side of the match coming up tonight at 2 o'clock in what is a very anticipated United States men's national team match with an opportunity to win the group today, depending on two separate results, obviously one of those being with the U.S. against Australia. Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast, hanging out with us here on a Friday edition. Matt, is there, what is the wide receiver group then? Oh, geez. That's, boy, that is a Freudian slip. What's the wide receiver group that you feel the most concern about with the Chiefs?
I think you have a little bit of a tell there, Jason.
What group? Because we went through
I'm knowing who's number 9 on your list now.
Well, we went through it yesterday. They are number 9 on my list. What group? What group would be the most concerning to you right now? Those fellas had the tight end group, and I had the wide receiver group. Which one would come up for you?
After OTAs and the mini camp and seeing that work, I'm gonna go tight end. Yeah. I mean, I'm probably the most bullish on Travis Kelce of anybody. I mean, it seems like everybody just seems to kind of write off Travis Kelce and just think that, hey, he's on a downward slide and it's over and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I mean, he's not the guy that he once was, but yeah, and
you were going to say it, weren't you?
But he's good ones, as he ever was.
Yep, I knew.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, and I heard Soren say this that Peter Vermees said it about Lionel Messi and everything, that hey, he's not his best all the time, but he's still as good as he's ever was.
Yeah.
At moments.
Yeah. Right.
That's the way Travis is. I mean, you look. He's not the 1,400-yard guy anymore, but the last few years, he's been an 800, 900-yard guy. So I don't think Travis Kelce is just going to go out there and all of a sudden be a 500-yard tight end. I mean, I think he's still going to be an 800, 900-yard guy. And can I just also say for a moment that, in speaking of this, that, I saw the NFL's got their top 100 list coming out, and they're like putting out some of the ballots anonymous, player, who they voted for and everything. But not saying who that was that voted for it. There's a dude that had George Kittle on their top 25 of the players they were voting for.
In the year 2026?
Yes. It's like, I mean, Kelce is still better at this point than Kittle is. Kittle is clearly falling off the face of the earth.
Because Kelce also plays.
Exactly.
That matters.
Yeah, but I digress. I mean, like I said, Travis isn't going to be a 1,200-yard guy, but with the changes on the offense, with Kenneth Walker coming in, with you're hoping the receiver group is going to be a little bit better, I don't know that Travis is going to have a whole lot of a decline or a slip. And honestly, if he just played a little bit fewer snaps, I think he would also eliminate some of the mistakes that he makes sometimes that are, I mean, the mistakes that he makes are, I think, tired mistakes and drops and those kind of things. Those are fatigue. So if he just played fewer snaps, I think that would also help him. But
there's no way to take those snaps.
I saw that's the thing,
right,
is that
yes.
I saw nothing from anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, even though he's not that old. I mean, Noah Gray.
If I was out there at the OTAs and minicamp, I might feel worse about the tight end group, but Kelsey's doing all the heavy lifting for me in that grouping.
Noah Gray's only going to age 28 season, I think. He's not as old as you might think that he is. But
that's about as old as I think he is.
I've got.
He's 26, so he's going into his 27-year-old.
Okay, he's way younger than I thought.
Even
okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Yes, that is. I thought he was 28.
Yeah, I mean, but between what we saw last year,
just turned 27 in April 30th. Hey, that's my daughter's birthday. Oh my God. She didn't turn 27 though. So April 30th, he turned 27. This is 27-year-old season. Go ahead. Sorry.
But between what we saw last year and what I saw in off-season workouts, I'm just fearful. I'm seeing a Noah Gray that's like a half step slower. And, I mean, if you want to hang your hat on blocking, that's it. But I don't think he's as good of a blocker as he needs to be too. So the rest of that group, I mean, we haven't seen anything from, the Breening Stools and the Jared Wileys. I thought, Trey Watson was probably the next best tight end. Honestly, might have been the second best tight end in camp in the OTAs, but was also very inconsistent. Had really good highs, but had some bad lows too. They ended up signing the Mason Pline kid from Furman. I mean, and that tells you that right there. I mean, when they're signing a tryout guy that they had in the mandatory minicamp, I mean, that tells you the Chiefs are concerned about that wide receiver position too. And it's just again, it's the time of year, it's the cap space situation. There's not a solution walking through the door. You're gonna have to win with what you got this year.
What would it make you feel better about the tight end position? I know you're talking about the solution may not be walking through the door. For example, Sterling had said what would make him feel better is if they go out and sign an inline blocker as an actual.
I have a name, Will Dissly.
Yeah.
If you get Will Dissly, I feel so
an
much
actual
better.
blocking tight end. Would that make you feel better about the tight end grouping? Or, as you said, it's even something like that knocking on the door, there really isn't a fix to make you feel confident that this grouping can be maybe as good as it once was, at least once as it ever was. Sorry, go ahead.
Making a move like that.
Go for Matt.
making a move like Dissly, that would make me feel a little bit better because it would also bring the Chiefs just in line with trends around the league. I mean, it's funny, 5-6 years ago, the Chiefs were the team that was running all the 12 and 13 personnel and the T-Rex personnel and putting all this out there and everything. And now it's the rest of the league is all going multiple tight ends, and the Chiefs are almost kind of getting away from it a little bit more. I mean, they still run 2 tight end sets an awful lot, and even 3 tight ends, but they don't do it the same way a lot of other teams do. And and there were times last year that honestly I thought, gosh, they need to, and because some teams do it this way, whereas hey, the Rams run 13 personnel a lot. There's a lot of teams that do that with just an extra offensive lineman. I mean, Buffalo does that.
Yeah.
They
did it in 24. Then they went and drafted Spencer Hawes.
Yeah.
And then went to him as a blocker mainly.
Yeah, and there's other teams that do the same thing, although then the Chiefs decide not to cover him and let him be a receiving tight end. But other than that, but I mean, there were times last year I thought, hey, that's what the Chiefs should be doing probably 10, 15 times a game. Even if they're not running the ball, even if they're throwing the ball, they just need that look out there and even the protection sometimes. So doing something different, I mean, but yeah, right now, I mean, the trend around the league is that you need at least one solid blocking tight end. And that's another thing that the Chiefs just don't have right now. I mean, who is their best blocker? Most scouts will probably tell you that Travis Kelce is their best blocking tight end.
Yeah.
And that's not ideal.
So
for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, well, yes, I'm in a total agreement with that. Is there a way to, because it's not going to be Noah Gray. Is there a way to turn Jared Wiley into, because he's not going to be a receiving tight end. I think we see that he's 6'6", 2, probably 55. I think coming out of college, he was like 6'6", 250. I'm guessing that he's not still 250. I would hope that maybe since he's not out there running routes like, Brock Bowers, that maybe he can be a little bit bigger. Could he be a guy that maybe that's just the focus for him is, we're going to make you a more physical player and not think that, he might be the next Travis Kelce, the way that he can move and run. And yeah, we're not seeing that. He's more lumbering than Kelce, which would make him a nice inline blocker who can then go out for a route every once in a while if he's on the field and you're running play action with him. Is there a way maybe to focus, or maybe that is the focus of we didn't need to go and get somebody because we feel like Jared Wiley, we're going to turn him into that?
I mean, I feel like it's hard to do to turn it's kind of like, turning a running back into a fullback. It's a halfback into a fullback, if you will. I mean, it's a total mindset change. It's something that they probably haven't done a lot. And that's the other thing too that, factors into this is that, depending on which offenses that you come from in college, there's a chance that, you're kind of like what the knock is against Travis Kelce, that he's not a true tight end, that he's a hybrid, that he's just as much of a wide receiver as a tight end. I mean, all these guys, Wiley's the same way. I mean, they came from a college offense where probably played really more technically wide receiver than the traditional tight end, like a attached to the line blocking guy. I mean, unless you come from some college offenses that has that piece, and there's some guys around the league who are. I mean, they were blockers in college, and they came into the league as blockers. You don't normally see the transition. I mean, you might see a blocker who just becomes a little bit better receiver. And honestly, I mean, I'm still baffled about why they didn't use Robert Tonyan differently last year. I'm still baffled by that one. But again, the offense last year was just lost. So
I would, and look, it may be tough to that transition as you're talking about of taking a guy who's more of a receiver. He's got the size to do it. Does Jared Wiley? I would also say if you're the Chiefs to Jared Wiley, like, hey, you're 2 years away from your rookie contract being up. Do you see a second contract in your future right now? You caught 2 passes in your career. 2. And it's not like, well, yeah, you tore your ACL your rookie year. Yeah, in November. And you were still on the team last year. Like, he's participated in 12 games in the first 2 years of his career, and he has 2 catches for 11 yards. If I'm the Chiefs or if I'm Jared Wiley, I'm going, boy, I'm seeing all these blocking tight ends get some contracts, get paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the NFL's going. So do I want to think that, no, I can be a receiving tight end and the career is going to take a drastic turn in his trajectory from 2 catches in 12 games that he's participated in? Or maybe I dedicate myself to finding my niche in the NFL. And if I get bigger and stronger and become more technically sound as a blocker, and the fact that I do have the experience in the past of being a receiving tight end at TCU, now I do become valuable to a team out there, maybe even to the Chiefs, and I can play a little bit more over the next couple of years. Because right now, there's no reason to put him on the field if he's not a good blocker, because he's not a good receiver. Well, I mean, he's a fine receiver. He's just not, he's lumbering. So if you specifically scheme up this play is for Jared Wiley, like the only first down reception he's had this year, then okay, he breaks, we play action, we roll right, he's running the out route, we hit him there for a 4-yard gain. Yay, we did it, you caught the ball, you did what your job was. But if you dedicate yourself and say, this is going to be my role in the NFL, you can stay around a while. You can maybe get a second cut. Maybe you can get 2 or 3 one-year contracts after your 4 years and your rookie contract is up. And maybe you're not cut this year if Brennan Stool or somebody else looks good and passes up Jared Wiley. I don't know that he's guaranteed to be on the team this year.
6'6", 250. I mean, he's got some size.
And that was when he came out of college.
He's probably put on a little bit
that
extra.
Was the combine, he was 6'6", 250. So if he's 6'6", 250, he probably has more room to add on, get to 260, and be more of a blocking tight end. At least they would have somebody on your roster that would fit maybe more of the physical profile of doing that. Because Will Disley is, 6'4", 260? So he's obviously a stouter individual, being a couple inches shorter and 10 pounds heavier. So that's a little bit different there if we're talking about that guy. But put 10 pounds on Jared Wiley, 6'6", 260, go be a blocker, and then run some routes after that. Like, that could be your niche in the NFL, as opposed to your niche in the NFL has been sitting on the sideline.
And why he would automatically become kind of a sleeper to make the roster. Mason Pline, 6'7", 260.
There you go.
He's already that. So
Mason whom?
Mason Pline. He is
I did not know that guy existed.
Second-year tight end out of Furman that the Chiefs signed. He was in with a tryout during the mandatory minicamp, which they also had Kenny Yeboah in for the minicamp as well, and he ended up signing with Arizona, I believe.
Okay.
Mason Pline. Okay.
You're going to look him up?
Former basketball player. Okay, yep, got him.
There it is.
There you go.
Former basketball player. Well, then does that give him the physicality to play, or is he more of a, is he kind of a route runner or kind of a finesse tight end as opposed to a mauler?
I mean, it was passing camp, but he had a couple of nice catches.
Okay.
So it looked like he could do a little bit of both.
All right, yeah. I mean,
He's got the body to be a blocker.
I would feel better, like if you told me, or the Chiefs, or we're at training camp and we're watching, and it's like, oh, man, Jared Wiley looks bigger, and he's blocking his tail off, and wow, okay, they've got him in there on 13 personnel or 12 personnel, and he's the one that's sort of an inline lead blocker, and they're running to his side, and he's doing his job. I'd feel better about the tight end room at that point, with Noah Gray as your backup tight end, Travis Kelce as your guy who's still a top 5, top 10 tight end in the league, and then maybe an actual inline blocker in Jared Wiley that they have been missing since Blake Bell. Since the Belldozer and that run that they made through the postseason, going on the road, and that Ravens AFC Championship game game plan of we're going to play 12 personnel and we're going to run it, and Blake Bell's going to be out here more snaps than he typically would be because we're going this strategy against the Ravens, because that's what you have to do to win that game, because they didn't have the other ways to sort of beat the Ravens that day. They haven't had that since Belldozer on the team.
And I'll say this about Jared Wiley. That's the curious thing, is that because, when he came out, it was with the whole, well, you know what, he's probably a better blocker than he is a receiver. But then the Chiefs were like, well, he's got better hands than you think he does. So, that's why they felt like he could do a little bit of both. And I was surprised by this. I mean, he played 94 snaps in 2024, which before the injury, which, I mean, that's more than I thought he did. I mean, I thought it would have been a lot less. But he only played 28 last year.
Yeah. Okay.
And
that's correct.
I mean,
yeah, he's going backwards.
I mean, well, and that's, once again, I mean, you're coming back from an ACL. I mean, vast majority of the time, and that's obviously the concern for going to be for Mahomes too, is that you're just not yourself that your first year back. He is, in all intents and purposes, I mean, like a red shirt rookie this year. I mean,
in his fourth year.
In his third year. I mean, third year, right?
Going into his third year.
Going into his third year.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, 24 towards ACL, 25
You and I
last
can't
year.
keep track of time today, Sterling.
Yeah. Well, it's a social construct.
We skipped a year.
It's a flat circle.
Yeah, you're correct. It's year 3. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I thought it was year 4.
Well,
he's been injured a lot.
Well, there you go. And so, I mean, we just don't know what these guys have.
Yeah.
But, you asked what we started the whole conversation, what would make me feel better about this group?
Will Dissly.
Well, Will Dissly might make me feel better. That would probably be one step. Honestly, I mean, it would just be go out there at the beginning of camp and catch the freaking ball. I mean, that was the problem with it. I mean, in OTAs, in minicamp, I mean, you're just out there in shorts, and the timing should be down, and you shouldn't be dropping passes. I mean, that's if you're doing that in May and June, I worry what's going to happen when the pads come on.
And you're talking about the overall group or a specific player? Or
overall
players?
group.
Okay. Yeah.
Tight end group. I mean, there was no one. I mean, Travis Kelce was out there for 1 day, 1.5 days, and was it was just like Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes goes out there and is probably like 60% of himself.
When you say Trey Watson looked like the second best tight end out there, that's not a great sign.
No, especially because he wasn't very good. So. Bless his heart.
Usually it's like he looked like the second. That was pretty good. They might have something in there. He looked like the second best guy by process of elimination.
Oh, he had a couple of catches, and there were. I mean, and here's the thing. I will. My one grain of salt that I will pinch in here and say and everything like this is that I may need to give these guys a little bit of a credit because of the quarterback play that they were playing with. Because, I mean, Justin Fields and Garrett Nussmeier, bless their hearts, were...
There's a lot of hearts being blessed.
Yeah.
You're
blessing a lot of hearts
after
today.
minicamp and OTAs.
You'll appreciate this one, Sterling. I've been calling them yacht rockers. Because every throw is sailing away. Yeah.
From where I'm going.
Exactly. They were definitely sailing throws away from receivers.
They were riding the wind.
They were right. Oh no, those throws were definitely riding the wind. But like Trey, I were talking about Trey. I mean, he had one of the best catches any of the tight ends did. I mean, that guy's already a big dude and everything, but like that. But he high pointed a ball that was like 4 feet over his head, not that much, but at least probably 2 to 3 feet over his head. He high pointed it and pulled it down. And then one would hit him in the breadbasket and he'd drop it. And Noah had a little bit of the same problems. I mean, and again, I'm going to give you a credit and a plus and just a little bit of a free pass if it was a Fields throw or a Nussmeier throw. If it's a Mahomes throw, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Ball, you better catch that. You better be in the right spot.
Last one.
Yes, if I have to decide on the practice field whether Mahomes threw the ball in the right spot or you're in the wrong spot, I'm going to blame you every single time.
Yep, absolutely. Which is what the frustrations that I got with McCole Hardman. It's like, well, they seem not to be on the same page. Yep, I'm going to trust 15 that he was on the page that he was supposed to be, and the other guy was on the wrong page. So they're not on the same page, but one of them had to be on the page they were supposed to be. Last one for you. Quarterback doesn't count, so take that out. What's the positional group you feel best about after OTAs, minicamp, off-season, etc.?
I would say And it's really, really crazy to be thinking about this in these terms. I would probably say running back or offensive line.
That's where the three of us went. We ended up going, like, we had a top three that we all sort of put in the top tier, which was quarterback, O-line, running back. Oddly enough, because offense was an issue last year, that those ended up being the top three of how we feel currently about that. So you would go running back over O-line, or O-line over running back, or 2 and 2A in the ranking.
I think I would probably give the nod to O-line simply because of institutional knowledge. You got everybody back by and large. I mean, except for one spot, and even then you may end up having Jalen Moore start there, in which case, I mean, you would say to yourself, you got 5 starters back. If everybody stays healthy, that's a good group. I think that they're fine with their depth. You might have some questions at tackle. Who knows? I mean, how that's going to sort out. But again, in theory, competition's going to make that group better. Andy Reid said he's going to be happy with whoever ends up being his 3rd and 4th tight ends. And if it's Khalil Benson that's just off a national championship team and handled some tough competition in college, not bad. If it's Esa Pole, who you liked last year, and he's your 3rd or 4th tackle, great. I like Hunter Norzad. I think he's great depth inside. You got Mike Caliendo back too. So, I mean, I think they're fine across there. I mean, really the only thing that's what I give the edge to the O-line is that you got the experience and the working together aspects. Running backs, I mean, they're all brand new. I mean, except for Brashard Smith. And I don't know. I mean, Brashard Smith, if he makes the team, which I think is still at least in the 50% category. I don't think he's a lock, but he's not, guaranteed to not make the team either. But everybody else is brand new. I don't know if Brashard Smith is going to be part-time running back, part-time receiver, just gadget, whatever, returner that just finds a field every once in a while. I don't know what he's going to be. But I think the running back room is going to be good, but it's just they need to work their way in. I'm just fascinated to see what ends up happening because, one, the offensive line really wasn't that maligned last year. I don't feel like that it wasn't like past years where everybody just complained about the offensive line getting clobbered all the time. And I think that some of the underlying metrics might suggest that this was one of the better run blocking offensive lines. Yeah. It's just that they had a couple of running backs that blessed their hearts. I'm blessing everybody's heart.
Everybody gets blessed.
When you're on a 6-11 team, you've got to bless a lot of hearts.
Yeah.
You're like an Oprah. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Bless his heart.
You get your heart blessed, and you get your heart blessed. They just had a couple of running backs who couldn't run through a tackle and couldn't make anybody miss.
Well, they had one running back that tried to run through the tackle. The back of the offensive tackle just tried. This is the hole right here. I'm gonna make my own hole. It's through this man's body.
And you know what? I mean, even the Chiefs are telling us a little bit in their actions because as good as Kareem Hunt was last year in short yardage situations, he was better than the tush push. He was more reliable than that. If you're not bringing him back for that alone, you're telling me that your offensive line did the heavy lifting.
That's a good point. Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. Matt, appreciate it always, brother. Thank you.
Always a blast.
Absolutely. Enjoy
highlight of my week.
That's absolute. Thank you for that. We're going to save that, throw that over to Seren and Steven. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We will talk with Bran Gibson in Australia, the Socceroos. We'll talk with him about the Australian side of this. There's breaking news as Christian Pulisic is out today with the calf injury. He is not going to play, ruled out. What kind of impact will that make on Australia? We'll talk about that next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy heading up until 2 o'clock. We will try to catch up with Bran Gibson in Australia. Turns out, I don't know, not as easy to call Australia as you would think.
There's a lot of extra numbers.
Well, I think you got to dial the 913 first. Or is it the 816? Do you have to dial 816? Michael, I'm just joking. Do not listen to anything I'm talking about right now.
I don't like that I seriously listened to that and considered that I was doing that wrong.
So he's trying to call, but he's getting an error message.
Which side of the state line are we on? Do you have to dial the 816 or the 913 there? So
I don't know. He goes, can I call via WhatsApp? We could just call him on the phone and cell phone and put him on.
Really? Is that what we could do?
That we could do.
Is that right? Yeah, I don't know that it works that way. Yeah, I don't know. Can you call on a WhatsApp? Can you use the WhatsApp to call?
I could send him a Zoom link.
I mean, whatever. If that works, it works. Whatever. I mean, we'll try to figure it out. The news around the soccer world is that Christian Pulisic will not play today. He is out with the calf, and one of the questions Texas studio lines have never, or Drake says text from Drake. Studio lines have never been able to dial internationally. So take that, Michael. Idiot. Sterling. Big dummy. Send him a Zoom link.
I'm working on it.
Zoom one on over.
Are you actually?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, do it.
Why not? But the news is that Christian Pulisic is out. And the question has been, one, do the United States play Christian Pulisic today? And if they don't, can you win or at least get a result, a point today, so you're not put into a tough situation where you may lose the group? Drake says you can't Zoom. There's no mix minus to PC. So, you stupid head. God,
well, then how do we do this? How do people talk to people?
Turns out we don't. You have him fly to the United States, and then we'll talk with him. Or just text him back. Here, I'll just text him the questions, and he'll text the questions back, and then you'll talk in his accent.
I made this dude wake up at 3:30 a.m. just for...
Maybe you should have done some research to see if we could even dial internationally, Sterling.
I just assumed that
really?
Phones
you know what happens when you assumed? You make an ass out of you and Med.
Bran.
And Med. You assumed and made an ass out of you and Med.
Well, I assume phones just work.
Well, but not all phones. It's not your cell phone. It's an actual phone that's going on the radio.
Well, because I've talked to someone from New Zealand before on the radio, so how does that work?
Which radio?
It was here.
Did they call you?
I think they called me.
There it is. Might be
That's actually crazy. So, Drake, it has apparently at least worked before because I called the dude from New Zealand.
You called him?
No, he called me.
Yeah, okay. So that's probably different. Could they call us? Maybe try that. Anyway,
try it. You got to air
anyway,
messages.
The United States are going to try to win the game without Pulisic. They can win the group today if they were to win, and then if Paraguay has a tie against Turkey or wins. Drake says he can call us. If Paraguay ties or beats Turkey today, that match comes up at 10 o'clock tonight. It starts at 10 o'clock. It's a late one, man. Late match. If that happens and the U.S. wins, they've won the group. They don't have to worry about that match against Turkey. They've won the group, and no matter the result. If they lose today, though, and Turkey wins or draws against Paraguay, and they are the favorites, then Australia wins the group. It's a massive match today against Australia, and there is no Christian Pulisic playing. But I would say it's one of the more anticipated U.S. men's national team matches that I can remember is today. Going back to 2014 when the U.S. was in the knockout round against Belgium and the crazy Tim Howard game where he was, standing on his head, making saves left and right everywhere. That's the last time that I felt like this much anticipation for a men's national team game. Because even last Friday, I was excited to watch it, but there were so many questions and unknowns about this group, about Pochettino, about his style. And so I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to watching it. It wasn't like, let's just say it wasn't appointment television that no matter where I was, I knew at 8 o'clock I had to be in front of a TV last Friday. Now, I was, but if I was out to dinner, I would have been, it's on the TV there. I'll just, keep track of it that way while we're out to dinner and enjoying, some fellowship and some company. But today, it's absolutely where I cannot wait to watch him play because it was so much fun. I haven't had that much fun. And what I love about it, Sterling, is it's not just the novice, unknown, neophyte that doesn't watch much soccer that was like, oh, that was fun. That was cool. That seemed different. It's the national analyst, Daniel Sperry, Taylor Twellman, nationally saying, no, that was one of the most impressive performances from the U.S. men's national team, maybe ever. Early 2000s against Portugal, they go up 3-0. This match last Friday are two of the greatest performances they've seen. And that's coming from Taylor Twellman. That's coming from other people that have covered the men's national team for a long time. And it also sort of changes a little bit that they're saying if you play like this, then just the round of 32 or maybe, because if you make the round of 32 and win the group, then you're playing a third-place team from another group. You should win that freaking game and make it to the round of 16. And if you make it to the round of 16...
Why not us?
Then you give yourself a chance if you're playing at this level with the players that you have. And maybe that's, maybe in a quarterfinal match, if they're in that game and Pulisic feels the exact same way in that game that he feels today, maybe he goes out and plays. Maybe he could play if this is one of those where it's the round of 16 or it's the round of 8. Sorry, we're going to take a chance. We're putting him in there. He thinks he's good to go, as opposed to the second game of pool play. You're still favorites against Australia. You feel like you have depth behind him. We're not going to risk it. We're not going to go out there and play him. And then maybe he'll be good to go against Turkey with the calf fully healed.
Don't want to Sammy Watkins, I think. Start the game and then get pulled 5 minutes in.
Then you use one of your
subs.
subs.
Your subs,
yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Or you win tonight or today, and then tonight Paraguay just simply ties or wins, and then you don't have to play Pulisic against Turkey because you've already won the group.
Yeah.
Then you get ready for the round of 32 at that point. Now he can be, fully healthy, hopefully, at that point. So it's a massive 90 minutes coming up for the U.S. at 2:00, and
I'm so excited.
I don't want to speed going home. Okay, I want to take my usual trip home, leisurely. But
sports are leisurely.
That's right. But we're getting off the air, and the thing starts at 2:00. Can we delay that? Can I get a rain delay? Can we have a Royals rain delay?
Can we call no?
Can we call the Royals rain delay in Seattle? It rains in Seattle. Can we get a rain delay in Seattle? By the way, FIFA Fan Fest, they put out the numbers yesterday. I saw fans that have shown up representing 178 countries.
Incredible.
Across the world.
Only 200, I think, in something countries in the world.
Yeah. Now, when you go into Fan Fest, I don't know if they ask you what country you're from. There
are 195 recognized sovereign countries.
So they've counted 178 different countries have been represented at FIFA Fan Fest. Now I don't know. Does that count ancestors? Yep, England here. It's where they're from. A little Swedish there in the background, although it's Anderson, S-O-N, not S-E-N. We Americanized it. Sorry about that. That's what we do over here in the States.
No, you're right. This is the most excited I've been for a U.S. soccer game, and I couldn't tell you how long. I was excited for the first game, obviously, because it's in the United States. But seeing the performance they put on just adds that extra level. You should beat Australia. Australia had a nice win, obviously, but they controlled the game for 28% of the possession. I mean, it wasn't like Australia dominated.
Yeah.
The United States dominated.
Yep.
And
against a team that gave up 8 total goals through qualifying, and you got 4 on them in one match.
I'm just enamored right now at what this team has the potential to do. And it is so fun. I know it's very American of us, but there is something great about beating other countries and what's not your predominant, let's say, traditional sport.
Beating Canada in hockey.
Beating Canada in hockey.
That's right.
Felt like that.
Yeah.
this feels different. If you think I'm not going home and throwing on my American flag pants and
you know what?
cracking open a cold one, you're out of your gourd.
Actually, I just thought about what I might be doing. It's a quicker drive from here to Nick and Jake's to go and watch the game where Seren and Curtis will be today.
Oh, dog.
So that may be my plan. I don't have to speed there. I get out of here at I'm going to have Seren take over at 1:45. He's totally cool with it. And then I'll be there at Nick and Jake's. Yes, let's do it.
I am.
Yeah, so that actually that seems like the plan now.
I'll watch at least the first half at Nick and Jake's. That's a Sterling Holmes guarantee.
That sounds like the plan for me.
I need to eat too.
Yep, that sounds like the plan for me. I'm heading to Nick and Jake's right after it's over.
Get the booth ready, baby.
Yeah, for Seren and Curtis, and then Sterling will just stand outside and knock on the window. Hey,
the high chair.
hey.
Yeah.
There's always room at the table when there's the high chair.
Hey,
that means
there's always money in the banana stand.
If I can fit in a high chair, that means I'm still in shape. So thank you.
No, good for you. That's right. Good for you.
That means I'm not
a little light in the cakes.
Ooh, do they have cakes at Nick and Jake's?
Dog, I'll rock some cakes. I'll rock anything. KT, get it ready, baby.
Why isn't KT in Seattle rooting on the U.S.? Come on, man. Nope, that's my plan, though. There it is. I'm going to head right from here to Nick and Jake's on 135th and go watch it there. So go there and check it out. Not just you, but everybody that's in the area. That'll be a fun time around other fans. If you're not making it down to FanFest or Power and Light, if you're around the area, then go there. That's what I'm going to do. Nice.
What was fun was I was actually
break a little brag, a little food in my belly.
Played in Golden Tee last night, and
oh, that's surprising.
I know, shocked.
Weird.
Shocked that I played Golden Tee.
Michael, did you know he's a Golden Tee player?
I did not.
Huh. That's interesting.
Shocked, but it was fun. Ran into some fans and folks from Mexico, like non-English speaking.
Yeah.
But it was so fun. Look, because obviously I was.
Did you tell him, let's put another shrimp on the ball bee? Oh, damn it. Got it wrong again. Son of a gun.
Little bet on FanDuel out for Mexico to win outright.
And they did?
Put 4 units on it. I was confident in Mexico.
4 units?
4 units.
Jeez, that's some confidence for a South Korean squad.
Huge unit.
Okay.
And so.
Favored?
I was just celebrating with these folks from Mexico, and it's going somewhere with this conversation of,
okay, good.
This is what makes the World Cup so great. Is that you might not even speak English very well, or you might have a language barrier, and yet you find some commonality. I was talking to some folks from, I'm drawing a blank. It may have been Slovenia. I'm trying to think last night. There's a couple guys from, I think it was Slovenia, also there last night.
Czechoslovenia?
Czechoslovenia. And
that's for you, Avery.
For a while. So it's just fun. I just love the World Cup. It brings everyone together.
Yeah, dude, I'm really, really looking forward to next Thursday because we'll be down at FIFA FanFest broadcasting. And I know I can't do this because I'm going to be on the air. This is one of the times where I'm like, oh, this sucks. I'm on the air during something I'd really like to do. Because typically that doesn't happen. Where I'd really like to take part and participate in something sports. And I can't do it because I'm on the air. Next Thursday, man, I would love to be a part of the Orange March. Just to go, with the Netherlands fans from Power and Light at, I think, 12:15 is when it starts. 11 o'clock is when people are gathering to pre-party and get ready for the march. And then they'll be marching to FIFA FanFest, but that starts at 12:15 next Thursday. We'll be at FIFA FanFest, so we'll get to experience, seeing it happen. But how cool would that be just walking along with them? So, Sterling, I do appreciate you doing the show for that 30, 45 minutes, hour, whatever it takes from 12:15 to 1:15 next Thursday. That's really cool of you to do. But I'm looking forward to that. To see something we've seen on TV in all these different countries with one of the cool traditions to then happen in our backyard. We already got the hat trick with Messi. That's amazing. And now to see this too, it's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. We'll take a timeout, come back. More Zone rolling along next. All right, we'll continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you heading up until 2 o'clock. We got the cuts. Less than an hour from now, we will hear what has happened over the last week or so on the different shows. We are a little more than an hour away from kick for USA and Australia. Joining us now is Bran Gibson in Australia, Australian journalist and our Socceroos expert. Bran, welcome to the show. How are you?
G'day, Jason. I'm doing well, mate. How are you?
I am doing just fine. What city do we find you in right now? Where are you at?
I'm in a small regional city called Warrnambool. So it's about 4 hours west of Melbourne, which is the second biggest city in Australia.
Okay, I was wondering how close you were to Melbourne if you were going to make it over for that.
No, say it correctly, Melbourne.
Melbourne, sorry. If you're going to make it over for that Rams and 49ers game to start the season next year.
I am, actually. First NFL game here in Australia. I'm definitely going to be there. I'm a big Kansas City Chiefs fan, so I was a bit bummed when it wasn't the Chiefs who got the international slot here, although it would have been a crazy trip for the team to get over here. But from a personal point of view, I thought that was a bummer.
That would have been really cool for it. Okay, I want to talk about Australia and this matchup today, but now I'm curious, how did you become a Kansas City Chiefs fan there in Australia?
So my mum is from Kansas City. So she grew up in Kansas City. She went to Liberty High School. She went to Northwest Missouri State.
Whoa, Bearcat! I'm a Bearcat, Bran. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got close family friends who live in Lee's Summit as well. So that's been the connection to Kansas City. So my mum passed her Kansas City sports fandom down onto me, so I'm a big Chiefs and a Royals fan myself. So I've been there a bunch of times to go to different games. I was at Game 1 of the 2014 World Series, flew over for the Super Bowl in 2020 and watched it in Kansas City. So I was at Power and Light. I was at the Super Bowl parade, which was all really, really cool. Awesome, it's funny, my youngest brother decided to dishonour the family tradition, and he became a San Francisco sports fan because it was like the first game he went to. And initially I was pretty jealous of that because, the Giants beat the Royals in the World Series, and I was like, this is pretty stiff, man. Like, I've stuck with the family tradition. He's gone rogue and he's winning, but it's sort of balanced out now with the Chiefs beating the 49ers twice in a couple of Super Bowls. So I think I think we're ahead now. It's good.
That is awesome. Well, I bet he probably feels good about the Rams and 49ers now being there in his backyard. But that's, it's great because I got a buddy who, split off for some reason as a youngster, and he's a Bills fan. For some reason, everybody around here, Chiefs fans, family Chiefs fans. He's a Bills fan. I'm like, well, you felt good in the early '90s, didn't you? And now, not as much fun. Mm-hmm. Not as much fun though. That's awesome. I am from Lee Summit and went to Northwest Missouri State. So how about that?
Yeah, there you go.
That is very cool. All right, let's talk about this matchup coming up today. It has a lot more juice than maybe last week at this time when we were thinking about a match between the United States and Australia. The win over Turkey. What's the takeaway from you? How surprised was it? Expected with that win? How they played and getting the 2-0 win?
Well, it was an interesting one. I think Australians here were pleasantly surprised. Australia, when it comes to soccer, is very similar to the US, where it's got really high participation rates at a junior level, but then at a senior level, in terms of other sports that are played in this country, it's only like number 3 or number 4 even, similar to the US, how baseball, basketball and football would be bigger than it. So when it comes to major tournaments, Australia doesn't get a whole lot of respect, but we generally, as Australians, think that the team does a really good job of punching above its weight. It doesn't get a lot of attention from the outside world, but then when it comes to major tournaments, they do a great job of performing. So to come out and beat Turkey, I think that was what we were hoping for, if that makes sense. Of course, at a World Cup, you're hoping to win a game, but the way that the Socceroos played was the thing that they would be most happy with. They're a very strong defensive team, so they're very confident to sit behind the ball, have a low block, and let other teams come at them. What they've struggled at previous World Cups is actually scoring goals. But this time around, the speed that they have up front, the Socceroos have up front, they're able to hit teams on the counter-attack, and we saw that against Turkey, where Turkey had 30 shots and couldn't score a goal. Australia had much fewer. I think they only had, less than 30% possession, but were able to score 2 goals and win. So that was the plan going into the World Cup. And I think to get that positive 2-0 result from the first game, it was just a justification that it works.
Do you think the strategy remains today? Because I guess it would be, the strength of each team, where the United States wants to be on the attack and on the front foot, and Australia plays more of that defensive style and counter. Do you think that's what we see is maybe the 70+% for Turkey? The United States had a large majority of the percentage against Paraguay. Is your expectation that that's what we'll see yet again today when these two teams match up?
I think so, and I think it really is going to be strength, because we saw against Paraguay how good the US looked. It's definitely one of the best performances from any team at the World Cup so far. They've got lots of quality players for the first, maybe not the first time, but it now feels like Christian Pulisic isn't the only player, the only avenue that the US has to victory. So I think it'll be the US who love possession, love trying to create chances against an Australian team that loves and is good at defending. I think it's just going to come down to who's going to blink first. I mentioned that the Socceroos gave up, 30 shots to Turkey. I would be nervous as a Socceroos fan if we were giving up 30 shots to the USA. We saw some of the goals from Balogun, and I can't remember who it was who scored the fourth goal for the United States. Who was it? Rayner, who scored it. Yeah, late on. Top shelf goals, outside of the boot, that kind of thing. So I think that would make Socceroos players and fans nervous giving up that many chances. But we saw the Socceroos were really good at being able to hit Turkey on the counter-attack. And I think that's what it'll come down to the US. Even when they have possession, are they going to be able to stay switched on throughout the entire game in terms of positioning? Because Australia, it's going to be different to some of the other games where we saw Spain versus Cabo Verde, where it was, look, hey, just park the bus for 90 minutes. Australia will attack, and they will get possession, and they will try to build through that. So it's, can the US, who's going to blink first, if that makes sense? Can the US take the most of their chances when they have possession, or when Australia does get the ball and they are able to try to counter-attack, can they convert those chances? They caught Turkey out twice, made them pay, and it worked. It'll be interesting to see what happens this time, because it really is both teams' strengths going head-to-head.
We're talking with Brian Gibson, Australian journalist, our Socceroos expert. He's there in Australia getting ready for this match, as it is now, 4 o'clock in the morning for you?
Yes.
So you know what? And you would have had to been up at 5 anyway to watch the match that's starting there. So it is one of the exciting parts of the World Cup being here, is that it is in the time zone that we've struggled. We've been in your position before, where you're waking up in the middle of the night to watch some of those matches. Mm-hmm. One of the guys who was brilliant in that game against Turkey was Patrick Beach, and having the clean sheet. Is he going to have to be sort of that same heroic nature today for Australia to pull off the win?
You would think that he is going to be called upon multiple times, and the fact that he even played against Turkey was really, really surprising for the Socceroos. That was his first World Cup performance. Our regular goalkeeper is a boy called Matthew Ryan. He plays in the top division in Spain, and he's actually the captain. So everyone thought that he would be starting, and then, the lineups drop, and everyone's like, hang on a minute, what's going on? Why is Patrick Beach playing? Why isn't it our captain? And then at the end of the game, it was just like, oh, what a genius move. That's why I suppose he's the coach, and we have no idea. But he made 8 saves in his debut, and that's the most that any Australian goalkeeper has ever made at a World Cup. Maybe a little bit of a double-edged sword. You'd prefer your goalkeeper didn't have to make 8 saves. But also, I think some of the shots that Turkey were having were from longer range and that sort of thing. But he also had a couple that were top shelf saves. One's from a free kick that he was able to tip onto the post. So the goalkeeper's the last line of defence. Australia likes to defend. I imagine that at some point he's going to be called upon. He had such a good first game, so much better than we, as when I say we, I mean, Socceroos fans who were watching could have kind of dared to hope, but hopefully he's able to replicate it. He's only young, and he definitely wasn't put off by the world stage in his opening game. So hopefully, from a Socceroos point of view, that continues.
From the Socceroos point of view, what would the script look like if they were to win today? Is it an early goal and parking the bus? Is it, continuing on the counter, even if they get an early goal? What would the script look like if they come out on top?
Well, if I could order a rinse and repeat of the Turkey game, that is absolutely what I would like. So I think the key, something that worked really well for the US, obviously, there's some nerves about being the tournament host, a lot of expectation, and they got that early goal against Paraguay in like the 7th minute. It was an own goal, so maybe a little bit fortunate there, but we saw how much pressure that kind of seemed to take off the team. It's like, cool, we're ahead, we've got a goal, and then it all snowballed from there. It was smooth sailing the rest of the way. So the key for Australia, I think, will be not allowing the US to get up and running like they did against Paraguay. So if they can sort of frustrate them the longer, or for as long as possible, the longer they can do that, the better the Socceroos, I think, will be. These two teams actually played in a friendly about 8 months ago, and Australia are a very physical side, and that can really disrupt some teams. It disrupted the US in that game. I think it was Pulisic actually got injured. He missed about a month afterwards. It was pretty fiery. The US actually won that game 2-1, but the Socceroos now are a lot better 8 months later, I think. So if they can stifle the US early, they've got some enormous central defenders. They're 3 central defenders. They're all 6'2" or taller. One of them, Harry Suter, is 6'6", so he's a really large when it comes to soccer players who normally aren't that tall. So I think Australia will be happy for, the US to put crosses in the box. They'll just head them away. So see you later, mate. Come again. And then on the counter-attack, Nestori Irankunda is the name to watch. He's only 20. He scored the opening goal against Turkey. He's lightning quick, and that's something that the US, their central defenders, aren't particularly quick. Tim Ream, in particular, he's a fantastic player. He's 38. He's the US captain, but he's not super mobile. So I think that's something that Australia might try to exploit with Nestori Irankunda. Mohamed Toure's their other striker as well. I mean, Australia dropped their captain for the opening game. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if the US saw the way Australia played and said, do you know what, Tim? You're a fantastic player. We might not put you out there from the get-go. So I think for the Socceroos, try to absorb that pressure and, find moments on the counter-attack where it might look optimistic, where it's just long balls and hope, but they only need 1 or 2 of those to work, and they could really make the US pay.
Yeah, the winner of today's game is going to move on to the round of 32, but the winner of today's game also with a great chance of winning the pool, depending on what happens tonight at 10 o'clock. You mentioned the physicality of this group, and Pochettino talked about it after that friendly of trying to match the physicality. So that friendly maybe helps the U.S. this go-around in knowing how physical of a team they are. Is the physical nature of this group for Australia, is that just this particular collection of players and the coaching style, or is there something maybe cultural of, soccer being played at a more physical level when you've got Australian rules football and rugby and some of the other games and sports that are played?
It seems to be a bit of a trademark of most Socceroos teams, to be honest, to have that more physical kind of game. And I think you're right when comparing it to Aussie rules and rugby, where it's that perception of soccer, with fouls being maybe a bit more ticky-tacky and that sort of thing, where when Australians are watching it and growing up and playing, that maybe, they don't want to fall into that perception of, when you see players from European countries, going down at slight contact or rolling on the ground and that sort of thing. And so I think that's part of, not quite the national identity, but it is a bit of a trademark of a lot of Socceroos teams. And I think they've seen that it's successful. Australia are a team that tends to play, funnily enough, better against higher quality oppositions, and that physicality can really disrupt some of the more technical teams. You know, some leagues in South America or some European countries aren't really built around that physicality. It's more of like, you know, the technical passing elements.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit of characteristic and also a bit of a strategy as well of, you know, make the other team uncomfortable. And it sort of really works. I think a lot of Australians try to embrace it and lean into it.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. Bran Gibson there in Australia, Australian journalist, a Socceroos expert, Chiefs fan as well there in Australia. Thank you so much for getting up early with us and talking and giving us the Australian side of this matchup coming up just under an hour from now. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
No, not a problem at all. And one final thing, it will be good as well. I don't know if you've seen Mike Grella. He's the CBS Sport soccer analyst, and he's public enemy number one here in Australia. There's been a lot of trash talk or a lot of perceived slights talking about the different teams. He came out before, it was just after the draw, but before the tournament, he called the Socceroos easy beats. He said the game would be a layup. He said Australia isn't going to do anything at the World Cup. And so that's really got a lot of Australian fans and a lot of the Socceroos fans pretty riled. Like, think Robinson Cano at the 2012 home run derby in Kansas City after not picking Billy Butler. It's like that kind of level of it. All the tweets that he's put out, all the bookmarks, I guarantee, will be from Australians, and we've just been collectively hoping, you know, the USA should be the favourites. That's 100% a fact. But it's also true that the Socceroos have a good chance of winning too. And if they do, or even if they're able to hold the US to a draw, Mike Grella, keep an eye out on social media and Twitter. There might be a few receipts cashed in from some gloating Socceroos fans. So we'll see how it goes.
Interesting. That is fun to see some of those receipts that'll be saved if that happens.
Hey, Bran, real quick, do Australians hate it when Americans go Aussie, 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 oi, 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 or do you guys like that?
I think it's a bit. I think we created that, so it's hard to say that you're annoyed by something that your own country's come up with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It is a little bit perhaps tired, a little bit old school. But look, you know, you come up with a chant, it's iconic, you kind of got to ride with it, so it's not too bad.
It's probably like those in Houston are like, okay, enough with the Houston, you have a problem. All right, we have a problem, Houston. Enough with that. Right, we get
or you're
it.
not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, that one, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Yep, totally agree with that one. Brand, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the match and the rest of the World Cup. As certainly expect Australia to advance through, and hopefully that is the case with both of these countries advancing through. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries at all. Thanks, mate.
Absolutely. There's Bran Gibson. Fun stuff there. He's there in Australia, and our Socceroos expert. Chiefs fan, mom, Lee Summit area, went to Northwest Missouri State, a lady after my own heart. How about that? Bearcat in the house. And you got Chiefs fans there in Australia. So personally, I'm happy the Chiefs did not get the Australia game. But for him, it was, disappointing that it was not the Chiefs there playing in Australia in Melbourne. We need to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll continue doing that. More Zone next. Well, you know, the world's biggest soccer tournament, it is here, it is going on, and a massive matchup coming up in less than an hour from now. And you can go to Kalshi and trade the entire tournament, trade every single match from the opening stage all the way to the final on Kalshi. And if you sign up right now for a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code Jason810, and you get $10 when you trade 10. Maybe you use those $10 on the U.S. to win. Right now, they are trading at 60%, meaning that, you know, even if it's $10, it's going to bring you back $5, $6. A tie, 22%. You go there, you trade that $10 or $100, whatever you're thinking there, you're going to get 4 times your money. And the cool part about Kalshi is, like you see in some other areas that you can trade and buy in and out of your position, whatever you want to call it, you can do that with sports. If I put some money or trade on the market for the tie, and it's at 22% right now, and this game continues to go along, and it's tied for a while, that's going to keep going up and up. But maybe I see the U.S. is on the front foot. I don't know that this is going to end in a tie. Let me go ahead and trade out of my position right now, and not where I have to. At some other sites, you just got to wait for it to be done and hope and sweat it out the whole time. Now I can trade out and feel good about that. And that's the great part about Kalshi, you buying in and out of your position on those different markets. It is the first federally regulated financial exchange dedicated to trading on the outcome of future events, regulated and available in the U.S. in all 50 states, and not based in a different country. It's right here in the United States, which makes it different than some of the other places that you may go. And again, for a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code JASON810 to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade the beautiful game.
18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
All right, we'll continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you to Matt Derrick. Earlier in the show, joined us. We talked some football, some Chiefs football with Matt Derrick. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. Bran Gibson, Australian journalist and our Socceroos expert, big Chiefs fan as well. He was there in Australia. We talked with him about the Socceroos and what this matchup could be and look like with Pulisic, who is out today. And about half hour from the match getting underway, Seren and Curtis are going to be at Nick and Jake's today, where I'll be heading right after the show is over to go and watch the match, enjoy a little food there at Nick and Jake's. Last night, Salvador Perez had the record-breaking home run there at Kauffman, breaking the tie that he had with George Brett for the most home runs in Royals history at the K, with now 137. Let's hear from Salvi after the game was over on finally breaking George Brett's record when that ball left the yard.
Yeah, it's me a lot, especially the passer Hall of Fame like George Brett, I got the opportunity to spend a lot of time with him. One of the best, one of the greatest. So I feel pretty good. But like I always say, I think the most important thing is that we win the game tonight.
The fact that you guys were able to win that in such a big way with the offense.
Make it a little bit more special, Make it a little bit more special, more excited, Great night at the K. So hopefully we continue to produce like that.
You're now just 4 shy of tying the Royals all-time home run record. Are you going to be itching for that now?
I don't like to think about that, but yes, right there, I see that a lot on the social media. A lot of people tell me about that. I just go to the home plate to try to do my best, try to help my team to win. Like I say outside, early in this season, I've been struggling a little bit. The number is right there. I just make an adjustment every day. I like to compete. I like to prepare myself. I'm going to give everything I have and try to be better at the home plate right now. And, especially like tonight, stay like that.
Sammy, what was that ovation like for you the next time you came here to play?
That's super excited. I feel like it calls me like my second home, I appreciate the fan. Thank you for the support all my career. I don't done yet. I got a lot of more. But I love you guys. Thank you for everything.
It was a great ovation for Salvi when he got to the plate after the home run, when took his time and the fans celebrated and gave him a standing ovation. That was really cool to see for Salvi. He is now 4 away from tying George Brett for the most home runs in Royals history. He has 313, George Brett with 317. We talked in the first hour about maybe last night's home run releasing some pressure off Salvi because he got the record. I don't know that there was pressure on Salvi, but I bring up these numbers as maybe correlation, causation, maybe coincidence. I think it's coincidence, but I hope there's something more to it. Salvi has played 17 games since he tied George Brett's record at 136. In those 17 games, now, mind you, not all of them have been played at Kauffman Stadium, but still, in those 17 games, he's batting 157. He was getting on base at 189 and slugging 171 for a 361 OPS and had 1 extra base hit in those 17 games. Got on base 3 total times, 2 walks and 1 hit.
Not great, Bob.
There. Not great, Bob. Or 1 extra base hit and 2 walks. The 30 games he played before he had the tying home run for George Brett's record, before he hit number 136. The 30 games before that, 254, 300, 407 slug, a 707 OPS, which will play 5 home runs, 3 doubles, 18 RBIs in those 30 games. He has the home run that ties George, and then he goes in the tank. It clearly could be coincidence that, he got in a rough patch there. Or it could be I hit the home run, and now, hey, I've got an opportunity tonight to break the home run record. And tonight, and the next night. Now a road trip, back home, hey, an opportunity tonight to break the record. I don't know if that's a part of it, but I know if you're going to try to hit home runs, you're probably not going to hit many home runs So we'll see. Maybe last night getting the home run. Now, he had the double first, so he darn near hits the home run earlier in the game.
Yeah.
And then hits the home run, then gets the single, a 3-hit night. That was great to see. But maybe there was some Salvi was trying to do too much and trying to hit the home run to break the record when George Brett's at all the games and everything. And maybe breaking the record just allows him to settle in. I hope that. I think it's more coincidence, Sterling, but I'm hoping there's more there. We'll find out tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this. He doesn't seem like a dude who everyone likes records and being there and doing that. But he doesn't seem like a guy who would focus on that or let the moment get too big. Again, we know World Series. We know the massive amount of games that he has played in that have meant more than maybe an individual record. But I do think there's something to, you see George Brett there at the games. He's sitting there at home, and you just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's a little bit of, I just want to get this over with. I'm tired of trying to make something happen.
You want to close the door on it.
I want to close the door. That was crazy. That door's closed.
I thought it was too.
It was wild. Same with that windy outside.
Somebody opened it and then closed it, and
The
not even
ghost
there.
of home runs past.
Yes.
No, I overall, I hope it ends up
Yeah.
being what you think, but to me, it feels more coincidental.
Yeah, I do think it's more coincidental, but he hits that home run, goes into a massive slump. He was coming out of his struggles before that. And last night it goes a long way. I mean, that offense was really, look, when everybody's hitting doubles and home runs, the offense looks awesome, man. The offense looks really cool when that happens. When they're not doing that, the offense sucks. It looks terrible, right? I mean, that's pretty easy to assess the breakdown in baseball. But last night's offense looked odd. There were doubles after doubles after doubles, and it was nice that a lot of those pitches were left in the middle. So it's much easier to hit the baseball when the pitchers, when Liberatore was leaving it middle so often. It's much easier to do that. And Jack with another home run, Bobby with a home run, Carter with a big night, Salvi with a home run, a number of doubles from guys. Nick Lofton hit the ball hard a couple of times.
Some help from Nelson Velasquez in left field.
That helps too, absolutely. Appreciate the double agent. Once a Royal, always a Royal. That's what they say. So we'll see tonight against the Cardinals. Off day tomorrow, and then Sunday wrapping up this 3-game set. And we'll see if Bobby will be out there tonight, if he's going to play. I haven't seen a lineup. I'll check right now. But he left the game early, and
not yet.
So the lineup isn't out yet?
Nope, not yet.
This should just be one of those days he gets off regardless.
I agree. Because he, how long is the Matt Quatrero clip? How long is that clip? Because we could play it here. Because Matt.
About a minute.
Okay, so let's play Q here, talking about what took place with Bobby in the inning, coming off, the conversation, not going back in the game. Here's what Quatrero had to say.
It was right knee discomfort, and then they're out getting a scan right now, so I don't have anything else other than that.
I know he's been managing that, but did it just flare up when you dove on it?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the same thing that he's been dealing with at all. I don't really have anything to share.
What did he say when you guys went out there?
He said he just landed on it awkwardly.
The number of injuries that this team has been facing lately, when you see Bobby go down, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would matter if it was the only injury or a ton of them. When Bobby goes down, that's really concerning, right? And the fact that he stayed in at first was a little bit encouraging, and then watching him come off the field was pretty obvious he was going to have to come out. So definitely concerning.
Was it your decision to take him out, or was it a conversation?
All of us, yeah. I mean, he didn't think he could stay in. We didn't think he could stay in. It wasn't like wasn't a fight to take him out.
That part of it, I think, is significant. Because a lot of times when we hear, well, no, this was just precautionary, the player didn't necessarily want to come out of the game. Or the player be like, I can play. I mean, if you take me out, that's fine, but I can go back and play. When he says Bobby didn't think he could continue. A little different than just, this is totally precautionary, it's fine. Because we've heard that before with the knee. A little knee soreness, but it was precautionary. We got him out of the game. And
he's got a little bit of a knee.
Rest. Got a little bit of a knee going on right now. He's got a knee. The fact that he said, I can't go, changes things. And I would expect that, you sit him tonight. He doesn't have a crazy, 400-game streak going where it's like, well, we're going to play you at DH or something. No, I mean, he's missed games last year. He's played in every game this year. Probably about time to get a rest anyway. And you got an off day tomorrow. So Get him out of. And it sucks for those that are going to be out there watching the game because
no Bobby, probably no Garcia,
Bobby,
no Vinny.
Right. I mean, it's missing a lot of guys there when we're talking about what this team was expected to be. But we'll see if he's in the lineup. I would not expect him to be in the lineup. I'd be totally fine with it. Off day tomorrow, and then maybe back at it.
I would almost argue I would be upset if he's in the lineup tonight. I would.
I agree. Give that knee a rest, man.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You are 14 games under 500. You're just turned 26. You are the franchise.
You've already taken him out of a game earlier because of the knee discomfort. So, go ahead and get him out of the game as well. They have changed the rules for the home run derby this year. I don't know if you saw this. No longer will it be timed. No longer will you have to then watch a ball in the air and try to keep track of that while also looking back at the pitches that are going to the batter, and then you're like 2 or 3 home runs behind. Oh, he's at 22. No, he's at 24. Was that 25 or was that 23? I don't know. How many home runs is that?
Did it land yet?
Yes. Which one did it land? What's going on? The camera wasn't following. Then the camera switched over to something else. I'm not sure. You don't have to worry about that. The first round, you get 20 swings. The last swing, you can hit as many baseballs as you want as long as they're home runs. So, in theory, you could hit infinity home runs. In theory, you get 19 swings, and that's it. And then your last swing, if you keep hitting home runs, keep hitting home runs. Then the next rounds, you'll have 15 swings, and so on and so forth.
I like how they change it up because they've changed it so many times already.
It became tough to track.
I've always enjoyed the swings or pitches versus just...
It got bad when it was guys would take 5 or 6 pitches in a row.
Yes.
So then it became a time, so you are forced to swing.
And so now we'll go back to guys waiting for their pitch, but because now it's swings, not pitches.
Right.
I'm still a fan. I like the switch up in general every few years, and I hope it goes back to time in, let's say, 5 years. Like, I like the rotations it feels like they do with the home run derby. I know it's hard to go, compare Josh Hamilton's to a timed one. Right, it's hard to compare eras, but it's a derby. It's fun. Give me change. Give me excitement. I'm cool with this.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Jack will continue swinging the bat the way that he is because, he's built for a home run derby. Like, he's a massive dude built for the home run derby. And we've already seen, you don't have to be an all-star to be in the home run derby. O'Neal Cruz last year was not an all-star, and he was in the home run derby. They've done that before. They've done it with a few players recently that it's for the show. You don't have to be an all-star to be in the dunk contest. It's for the show.
You won't be if you're.
Right.
I'll tell you this much: if you're an all-star, you won't be in the dunk contest.
That's probably right. Yes, and that would be pretty cool if Jack is swinging a pretty good bat and hitting more home runs and gets hot. If they are like, you know what? Here's your invite, man. Perfect for the home run derby. Just mashing the baseball and hitting it far. So that'd be cool. We'll see. I don't expect him to be an all-star this year. But we've seen that in the past where O'Neal Cruz was not an all-star and was still in the home run derby. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We got cuts on the other side of the break. More Zone next. All right, wrapping things up here on a Friday edition of The Zone. Handing it off to the program at 2 o'clock. They will be live from Nick and Jake's as Team USA in action against Australia. No Christian Pulisic playing for Team USA today. We'll see if they can still pull off the victory against the Socceroos. Let's go ahead and cut it up, Michael.
Got to the mic and was going somewhere, and then he gave that I'm not going to do it. No,
I want to hear it.
He got waved off.
Like a Sterling Holmes joke.
Okay.
That's always welcome.
Yeah. You can take a shot at Sterling whenever you want.
Especially after that painful musical discussion I listened to about 3 weeks ago. Holy moly.
What was that?
They were just, they started talking about bands, and Sterling dropped one dumb comment after another. He was talking.
Wow, he's nowhere around, boy. You get to be quite the tough guy, Danny.
I think he was saying that that like Rat was bigger, that was better than
we discussed
somebody.
You cannot make Danny more angry than if you put a musical opinion out that he doesn't like.
That's true.
No,
That's true.
I actually a lot of we saw it on that stream last night.
Yeah.
Some guy went and saw a Pink Floyd tribute band. Everybody knows I don't like Pink Floyd, but I also understand that they're.
I love it. Everybody knows.
Pink
Floyd. Everyone in the city knows.
It is
legend. Quick, yeah.
But
anyone who knows Danny knows that.
But I know that Pink Floyd is a good band.
Yeah, you don't.
I just don't like them.
Suck.
But Rat, come on.
Rat's talented.
He is not happy with your Rat take.
Rat kicks ass, okay?
I had to play that one for
sometimes when you play with someone, it can be hard.
Whoa. Sometimes.
Pause.
What happened? Not all the time.
Who said that? Sometimes when you play with someone, it can be hard. What was I possibly talking about? Because I was obviously not even laughing there. That was me being serious about something.
Yeah, but
Cooter. I'm getting rocked. What was Kyle about to say about me? What was Kyle going to rip on me? Kyle!
I don't know what he was going to say about you.
Kyle!
My mouth's empty. Talk to me. Don't call me daddy.
Wow, Mick. Mick?
Hovers around the area. He's too light in the kicks.
Xavier Worthy keeps catching everything, like reports from
tracks the ball.
Yeah, he caught 9 balls the other day at practice.
Whee! Unleashed.
I saw the end of the world in the US, and it's called Buc-ee's. They say it's a gas station, but that's a lie. A gas station has a sad sandwich and a coffee machine that never works. This place has 120 pumps. 120. Why? Are you refueling the US Air Force? Are you preparing for an alien invasion? That's terrifying. And the mascot is a beaver in a baseball cap. I saw grown men taking photos with a statue of a rodent. In France, we have revolutions. In the US, you bow down to a squirrel on steroids. And inside, the aggression. A man with a knife screaming, a fresh brisket on the board. Sir, calm down. I just want a squatter. Don't kill me. But I have a problem. I wanted to hate it. I wanted to be the superior Frenchman snob. But then I ate the beaver nuggets. I don't know what is in them. I think it's sugar, butter, and pure methamphetamine. I ate one, then I had the whole bag in the parking lot like a wild animal. And the toilets, I have to admit it, but they are nicer than my apartment. You could eat the brisket off the floor in the bathroom. It's cleaner than the hospital. So I have failed. I came to judge and I stayed for the snacks. I don't have the hat, but in my heart, I am wearing the hat. God bless the beaver.
The beaver nuggets are butter, sugar, and pure methamphetamine.
God bless the beaver.
God bless the beaver.
True words in Urban said.
Oh, this is the hole right here. I'm gonna make my own hole. It's through this man's body.
Whoa!
It's Isaiah Pacheco. That's clearly what we were talking about. Clearly what we were talking about. Pause. Isaiah Pacheco.
Hi, I love this beer in this country, by the way. It's really good.
Yes.
You like the beer in this country, all right?
Hospitality's been amazing as well.
Really? Have you had any Texas barbecue yet?
I had Texas barbecue yesterday. I had a lovely bit of brisket.
Lovely bit of brisket.
Tell me about it. What was your experience? Was it what you expected?
I went fatties. Do you go fatty or
yeah,
lean?
Oh, yeah.
I went fatty. I went to slow bone, picked it up, put the sauce on it, dropped it in the mouth, melted in my mouth. It was absolutely beautiful. It's the best beef I've had in my life.
Really? Yeah. We love to hear that. Did you try any of the other fixins with it or no?
I had a pork chop. I had some pork ribs.
Okay.
I had mac and cheese. The mac and cheese was average, though.
Oh. Yikes.
And the other thing is, what's this Brussels sprouts scrapped in about? We have Brussels sprouts at Christmas in England. Why'd you have it on your barbecue?
Let him know.
I don't know. There's so many questions
Let
here.
him
Tell
know.
me what you're doing today. You're heading into Texas Live right now. What's the plan ahead of the match?
We're going to get drunk before the game. We're going to get drunk during the game. and then we get drunk after the game. But all that matters is England wins today.
And they did.
That is a guy I'd be friends with.
He had quite the party in them winning. And then you know what? The English players had quite the party last night out at Kaufman, watching the Royals put up 14 goals.
God bless the Beaver.